The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 429, being recorded on July the 17th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, known as Jesus Walks Out. Today I'm joined by my friend from the West Coast, the best coast. He's back. Henry Merrill, Gunny Chief. Welcome back, Henry. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back again.
Welcome back to the show. You're back. Welcome. You're back.
I'm here. Guys. I'm here. Let's talk games.
And from Little Big Ohio, the Mayo is back. Welcome back, Mayo. Welcome.
What's up, Jesus? How's it going?
Hello. It's going, man. It's going. And another guest today from the great white north. It is so white up there. All the White Walkers live there. Ryan Gibson, Gib 87777. I don't know how many sevens there is. There's a lot of sevens. He's back. Welcome back, Ryan. Welcome.
What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Horrible Gamers. Let's do this.
That's right. Ryan, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here. I need someone to argue with. And welcome to the show. You can follow us at _Horrible Gamers on the Twitter machines. Do we have a Threads up yet, Gunny? Do we have a Threads account?
No.
I do.
Oh, no. I didn't even think about that.
Wow, Gunny. Come on, dude. This is the
all
new
about the
thing
Twitters. Here. I haven't done any. I know you can log in with your Instagram account.
Dead. Twitter is dead. Threads is the future. Okay.
Threads the future.
Yeah.
Elon is sad.
Threads is the future.
Threads,
Zuckerberg just destroyed his website in a matter of like a week or two. So come on now.
What happened to VR? What happened to the whole VR thing that he's doing? Now he wants to get into the Twitterverse.
He found out VR was useless.
Oh, they're still making VR. They got the Quest 3 coming out, but he killed Twitter with Threads. So we got to make a Threads account, okay, before someone steals our name.
I don't think he killed Twitter. I think somebody else killed Twitter, if you know what I'm saying.
He killed Twitter, bro. He killed it.
Elon Musk killed Twitter.
Elon wanted to fight him.
He doesn't care.
Elon wanted to fight him, and Zuckerberg was like, okay, I'll fight you, but then I'm going to kill your website first, and then I'm going to kill you in the ring.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun. That shit's funny. I hope they do fight. I will totally watch that.
That would be awesome. I'm still seeing that on
that
Twitter every day.
That would be a big pay-per-view. They'd definitely make that a pay-per-view.
Oh, it'd be so big.
It'd be like celebrity deathmatch. Right.
In real life.
In real life.
A bunch of two rich motherfuckers just going at it. That's fucking awesome. Anyways, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can rate us on there as well, I think. Also, join our Facebook, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. It's a group. It's a close group. Anything you post in there stays in there. There's a page as well you can like on Facebook. And you can also support the show with the monies if you wish to, like our friends, Leahy, Big Leahy. I know he's still around. I seen him in the Discord the other day. Big Leahy, Big Jason Sams, Big Robert Noble, Sean Big Patrick, Chad Big, Henley Big M, Big Pork Chop Poo, Big Nipron, the big best HGP host ever, and Evan Big Wears Vans on the best coast and will tag it to prove it, and Bill Gardner II, the first big.
The big
first and the second.
Yeah. He's the first and the second. I go by the second, but I'm really the first.
My lord.
Did you ever ask him why he fucking changed his name?
No, I never asked him. I just go with it, bro. Whatever they put on here is what I read. I just read it, okay? So yeah,
but
big shout
they
out to
didn't really
you guys.
all change their name and put big in there.
No, they didn't. No, I added the big to everyone. Everyone got the big added this week.
You get a big. You get a big.
Yeah, everyone's a big, okay? Everyone's a big one. Anyways, big shout out to all of them. And you can also support the show by heading over to Redbubble, get yourself some gear. Just search for our name and you'll find our stuff on there. And yeah, let's get the show started. Big shout out to Phantom Egg for the intro music and Broke for Free for the outro music for the show. And yeah, video games. Let's talk about them. Let's get into them. Let's talk about it. Stuff. Games. Mayo. I played more games this week, Mayo. Do you believe that?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good.
I played games. So I ended up
whoa,
playing.
whoa, hang on. What the hell did you play this week? We gotta guess. We gotta guess what Jesus been playing.
Okay, what did he play?
Okay.
BattleBit Masters? Whatever. No, he played that already.
No, he
No, he didn't like that.
game.
He played it. I heard. Yeah. He didn't like that.
I feel like he was in a Call of Duty mood.
Well, he's definitely played Battlefield. I mean, come on.
He goes back and forth. He played
one.
Battlefield recently, so and we've been talking about Call of Duty because of this Xbox acquisition. So I think he's been hearing that word.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus is allowed to play Call of Duty anymore, so he's got to play Battlefield only now.
Farming Simulator.
Damn.
What about the new Street Fighter?
All right, what do you play, Jesus?
I did play some Battlefield this week. So Battlefield has they have an event going on. I forget what it's called, but it's some event that they created with, like, if you play it within this week and you get so many of the ribbons in the match, you have to get 100 to get like all the unlocks, and all of this is like special skins. I don't really like the event. I like the fact that they are using the maps from Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield 3 and shit. Because those maps, when you play on those, like the portal maps or whatever, like for some reason in Battlefield 2042, there's destruction in the map, right? Like there's like destructible buildings and cover and stuff like that that can blow up and buildings collapse and shit. But not all of them. It's like very like minimalized, I would say. It's very like, it doesn't feel organic, you know, like in Battlefield Bad Company where everything you could be destroyed in the map. In Battlefield 2042 is only certain things, you know, certain buildings and stuff. But when you play on the old maps in the portal mode, you get all that destructibility in these old maps. So like if you're playing Battlefield 3 maps, you get the destructibility. If you're playing Battlefield Bad Company maps, you get that destructibility, which to me it's weird. So it's like these maps were remastered for Battlefield 2042, and they were brought into the game as portal maps or whatever. But in your regular 2042 game, it's like you didn't think about the destructibility at all. You didn't design the game around that, which is like a core part of Battlefield, in my opinion, you know, being a Battlefield fan over the years. I feel like that's like a big thing in the game, right? Being able to, like, if somebody's hiding in a building, if a team's hiding in a building holding a flag or an objective, you could just say, fuck it, I'm going to shoot an RPG into that fucking window and blow that whole room up, you know, and take the wall down and the ceiling down or whatever. But in 2042, you can't do that. But in this portal mode, you can, and this mode incorporates that portal mode. So they use those old maps in it sometimes. And I liked that aspect of it because I was like, oh, it feels nice to be playing on these maps because they sort of feel fresh and new. It's like a different map from the 2042 rotation. So it's like a new map almost. It feels like, you know, it feels fresh and it's different. So that's what I like about the mode. What I don't like is the cosmetics you unlock with it, which are pretty lame. I mean, all one is like a player badge, like the card thing behind your player, like that shows like a picture or whatever. The other one is like a gun skin and like a weapon charm. First of all, I never equip the weapon charms. The player cards are fucking lame. I only use one of them. And the weapon skins don't really matter to me because I have so many for so many guns that I kind of just pick one for a gun and stick with it, you know? I don't really ever change them out. Like sometimes I do it to where, like, if I'm on a snow map, I'll change my gun to like a white camo and I'll change my character to like a light camo, like a white one, to make it match with the snow more. But other than that, I don't really change them all the time, you know? I don't really give a fuck. I'm like, whatever, you know? So I don't know. I don't really like the mode as much. As I said, I'm not really a big fan of this season. They kind of fell off after giving them away for free. I'm not really into it. But I am progressing through it to unlock the weapons that come with the battle pass, which those are free once you get to that level. So I've gotten some of the weapons that come in this battle pass. The new sniper rifle is pretty good. And I would say the new assault rifle they introduced is actually really good as well. But other than that, that's all I did for Battlefield. I didn't really play it long, actually. I only played it for like maybe a match, maybe 2 matches, and that was it, which is really weird, right? Before I was like on these long Battlefield benders, I would say, where I'm playing Battlefield for hours. And now it's like, nah, I'll play it for a match or 2, and I'm kind of over it. Besides that, I ended up going and I haven't played Call of Duty, but I think I did download it. But I haven't played it because they did introduce some new maps to it. So I think they added 2 multiplayer maps and stuff like that. So I want to go back in there and check that out. Plus, it's almost Call of Duty season again, where like they're gonna start talking about the new one, start hyping it up. So I kind of want to see what they have in store for us, because from all the rumors and from everything we've heard, the new one is going to be more like an expansion pack to this one, right? To the Modern Warfare 2. So as before, they would kind of skip around. They go to Treyarch, then they go to Sledgehammer, then they go to Infinity Ward. It seems like this year they kind of just went back to back and said, whatever Treyarch was working on is not good enough, so we're going to go back to Modern Warfare again. So this is going to be Modern Warfare 3 from all accounts, which is really odd, right? Because they've really never done that back to back. They never said, okay, we're going to go Modern Warfare 2, then Modern Warfare 3 the next year. This would be the first year they do that. And that's kind of a big deal, I think. Because to me, it shows 2 things. It shows, one, whatever Treyarch was working on, Activision didn't like it. Or they thought this is going to flop, or this is going to be bad. We need to re-scratch this and like restart it or change it up somehow, So I think whatever Treyarch had in mind, they fucked up, which is kind of a big deal for me because Treyarch is the star studio in Call of Duty over at Activision right now. It used to be Infinity Ward, I would say, back in the day, but then all those guys left, right? And they all like created. They're the ones who made Respawn. They're the ones that made Titanfall. So all those guys left, right? They all left Infinity Ward, and they all went to work for Respawn, and they made Titanfall, which is a great shooter. But like that franchise kept going, Infinity Ward kept doing their thing, and then Treyarch kind of became the king after that. They were the ones that came out with the really good games. They started putting out Black Ops 2, which was huge, I would say. Then they made Black Ops 3. They made all those big titles, right? The good Call of Duties, people would say back in those days. Because that's when Sledgehammer was making like Call of Duty Ghost and Advanced Warfare, and there was another one they
Those
made.
Were good.
I didn't like those. Those were considered the flops in the Call of Duty realm, and like people that play Call of Duty. The people that play Call of Duty, Gunny, no offense to you. I'm not saying you don't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't play Call of Duty, but the people that are hardcore fans of Call of Duty would say that Ghost was like a flop. Advanced Warfare was like a flop. What was the one with the
Infinite Warfare, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Infinite.
Warfare. Yeah, the one with the jetpacks. You knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
That's another one, right?
Was it the wall running stuff, or which one was that?
Yeah, that one had the wall running in it as well. Yeah,
They call us boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those games weren't really like, they were hits, of course, right? Don't get me wrong. These games still sold.
Yeah, they didn't
Super
do
well.
nearly as well as they usually do, though.
They didn't sell Modern Warfare 2019 numbers. They didn't sell Modern Warfare 2 numbers. They didn't sell the numbers that Treyarch and the other companies put up. So, like I said, Treyarch to me was the king. But Infinity Ward really did a good thing with Modern Warfare 1 in 2019. That game was huge for them. And I feel like they gained a lot of fans back, like me and Brink and shit, that we'd love Modern Warfare, so we went right into it. And then this year, this one, I don't know, they kind of dropped the ball with Modern Warfare 2. I don't see a lot of people still playing it. Even myself, I'm like, how is it that Modern Warfare 2019, I played it all the way through till like this one came out. But this one is kind of like, I even uninstalled it on my PC for a while, so it's like it kind of fell off. So I'm kind of hoping that with this new one coming out this year, that they bring me back in, which I'm sure they will, especially with the acquisition of Microsoft going through. Everyone's going to be playing it, right? Game Pass.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to be playing it.
I was thinking about that the other day, Jesus, and I remember hearing.
Don't start with Game Pass yet. That's still not necessarily going to happen for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know, man. Bethesda games. I mean, they bought Bethesda like the next week. All the games were on there.
But Bethesda didn't have contracts with.
Yeah, Sony's got
Sony.
2 years left, 2025. But
the end of this year, that contract's done.
Can they put previous titles on Game Pass? I don't know.
I'm sure they can.
If they want to.
I'm sure you'll see
previous titles, maybe, but not the new releases.
Huh, that's so weird to be a company that touts your day one games on your platform and not to release the day one biggest shooter of the year on your platform.
But
on that service is weird.
Legally, they are not allowed to. So they have to wait. I'm saying next year's Call of Duty, if there is one, if they don't end up taking a break, next year's will probably drop day one, but this year's won't.
That seems so weird to me. Well, we'll see what happens. They might get around it somehow. They might pay him a shitload of money to be able to do it, because that would be huge for Microsoft, right? To be able to
for
say
a second that Sony's going to let them do that.
Oh, I think Sony would. I think Sony would say, okay, we'll let you do it. Okay, we'll let you do that, but we still get the marketing rights. So all the branding and shit is on PlayStation.
Nope.
All that shit's on PlayStation.
Nope.
I could almost see them doing it.
Nope.
For the money, man. Money talks.
Nope.
Yes, it does. Money talks. Money
Oh,
talks.
I'm not saying money doesn't talk.
Why do you think?
But Sony won't do it.
Activision's getting bought out?
Sony. They can ask them, but it's not like they're going to say yes.
True. I don't think they will. And it would be stupid for Sony to say yes. But if I was Sony and I was wanting some extra money, I would be like, all right, motherfuckers. All right.
They wouldn't
let you.
That's what I'm saying. Sony wouldn't do it.
I don't know. Well, you never know, man. Sony might have a change of heart here. They might want to play nice with Microsoft for a while to
they should
get back in the good graces of Microsoft now that they know they fucked up.
Them fucking around with Microsoft is what caused all this.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, they might play nice. They might be like, oh, we'll play nice with you, Microsoft. We'll be friends. We want everyone to play games too.
I just don't see it until Jim Ryan is gone. I think there needs to be a change in leadership in order for some sort of kumbaya between Microsoft and Sony, because after what's gone on the last few years, it's like there's a lot of bad blood there, bro. There's a lot of bad blood.
I want to see an announcement next week. Sony and Nintendo are joining forces against the big American company.
Right.
Yeah, that would be huge. Company. Yeah, the Japanese are joining forces.
But they hate each other too. That's the thing.
They do. They fucking hate each other. The Nintendo company.
They're all in competition.
Nintendo gets a lot better with the Xbox than fucking Sony.
Nintendo is like a family-run company almost, man. Those motherfuckers, okay, it's like a bloodline thing over there, man.
That's Yakuza, bro.
You're in the Nintendo family. Everyone knows you in Japan, man. Okay? That's the thing. You get into all the VIPs at the club and shit when you walk in and you show them that Nintendo family card. Okay.
Yeah, you get the employee badge. You're like, I work for Nintendo. You just have everything, like full access.
How long is the wait at this restaurant?
Yeah, let me tell you guys.
It's a 2-hour wait tonight.
Let's say you're over.
Nintendo badge says that I get in now.
Yeah. And let's say you're in Japan, right? And you just want to make a ROM and kind of get around things. Fucking guy shows someone a black suit with nunchucks, right? And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You don't fuck
Knots
around.
on your head.
You don't run around with an Xbox shirt in Japan. That shit don't fly over there, bro. You get beat up, okay? You end up in a fucking bathtub full of ice and no kidneys left.
A purge, man. You can't. Yeah, you're not gonna survive.
Okay, but so I've been playing a little bit of that. I want to play some more Call of Duty. I do. I want to get back into it and kind of see what it's like again. I know what it's like, but I want to experience it again. Besides all that, though, I did go back to my PlayStation 5, and I've been playing some more, of course, Final Fantasy 16. I'm still continuing through that story, Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck, that story is long. I'm playing and I'm like, is this thing ever going to end at this point? I'm like, God damn, man. Like, this shit just
That one time I told you, I was like, I think I'm getting close to the end, and it was like 75%, and I'm like, shit, I got ways to go.
The reason you think you're getting close to the end because the fucking game is like everything you do is this big, huge moment. Every fucking thing, every battle, even like the first battle, it feels like
everything
a huge
seems like it's
battle.
the end.
And it all seems like it's the end. You're like, okay, this culminates to this one point. No, that was just like a side boss, man. Like that guy, like we had to kill him, but like he's not the boss.
Yeah, that was like the boss you got before you had to fight the final boss. So
the princess is in another castle.
Yeah, that's like a baby boss, bro. Like you got to go to the other guy over there and fight him. And like they got all these like like all these factions and these like kingdoms and shit fighting. You know, the part that I enjoy the most about the game, Mayo, honestly, is the lore in it, right? When that lady, I don't know what's her name, I forget her name, but she's in your base.
Like the map. Well, she shows the map and kind of tells you like what's going on.
Yes, and like it shows the map, and then she's talking, and it's like highlighting the map for you, like what she's talking about, and like she's like, "Oh yeah, and this kingdom decided to attack this kingdom, and when that happened, this kingdom saw the opportunity to come attack this other kingdom. Now this other kingdom is fucking fallen to these guys, and they have to worship this guy now, and like you got like that lore is so fucking good. I'm into that shit, bro. Like I love when she's talking. I'm like, yes, talk to me all day, lady. I can sit here and watch." I can sit here and watch 30 minutes of these fucking cutscenes of you talking about the lore of this fucking world because it's so well done.
Right. Have you seen the part like there's a person in the ship you talk to that shows like all the profile pictures of all the people you come across in the game and whether they're alive or not, and it tells you like their history and how it branches out and how it's all connected to. I think that's kind of cool too. I think it has something thing about the scenario, kind of like what's going on or something too. I can't remember. There's some other thing besides with people. But
yeah, so I've been doing that, and I've been playing. So I am enjoying some of the side content. So like, there's a lot of side missions. Some of it is really stupid. Some of it is like, go to this guy and deliver 3 apples. Like,
or you need some wood and go get some wood. You walk across the town and get wood, and you walk back.
Those are fucking stupid, but I've done them. But the ones that I like are the ones like there was one that I did the other day that I really enjoyed. I like the one where you get your chocobo. I like the other one where there's like a whole side story. It's escaping my head right now, but I was like, holy fuck, this was really well done. And I don't know, I think I fought like this fucking griffin thing, and like this thing was like huge, man. It was like a bounty, but it was a side quest. And I didn't know it was a side quest. And this guy was like,
I think they kind of mix them a little bit because I had a side quest one time and I had to fight the eyeball thing from the bounties.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit weaker one, but it was kind of like the same, you know?
They bring him back or some shit. I don't know what they did with those bounties, but you can like, the side missions are kind of, some of them are really well done and they make sense in the world and the lore of the world. They do make sense. But I like that world. I like the world that they have. Some of it is kind of like, I don't really care for much for this. But the characters are so well done, in my opinion. Like the main characters you interact with, like Gav, he's fucking cool as shit. Clive, the guy you're playing as, Clive, he's fucking cool. Jill is really well done. Like the main characters you're always talking to and seeing in the cutscenes, right? The main guys. They're so well done, and even like the main bad guys, like that one king in the he's from the Empire, I think, like the king in the Empire.
He's
Odin? like I don't know, he's like a blonde dude.
He's not like the blonde dude. Okay,
he's like at the Empire. He's like the king, and everyone calls him Your Grace and shit. But like they're like, oh, Your Grace, and he's like talking about like going to war or like
his son is Bahamut.
Yeah. So like, and they keep talking about Bahamut and bringing him into the battle, and he's like, I don't want to take Bahamut into the battle, and they're like, but we might have to because we're losing this war. Like, what are we gonna do when we don't have nowhere to run to? Because
is this about where you're at in the game?
So because they're saying everyone keeps coming to our fucking city, right? To like the main capital city. They're like, what are we gonna do when we don't have enough space for all these people? And what happens when that army reaches our city? Like, they're going to start killing the people because they're going to try to get to the palace. So they're going to go to the city to kill everyone to get to you. And the dude's like, well, I'm not worried about it right now. Like, I don't give a fuck, guys. Okay, like, fuck you. We're good. We're just going to chill here and do our thing till the time comes. But I ended up fighting the other guy. What's his name? Big guy,
Titan?
Hugo.
Titan, yeah.
Oh,
Hugo, yeah, Hugo, but he almost Titan.
Whatever. Yeah, the guy with gold hands. I fought him, and I got his powers now. Which
Did you kill him or
no? So I ended up, I cut his hands off, and then like somebody showed up, and then they carried him away. So I
Yeah.
didn't kill him, but I'm assuming I'm gonna have to fight him again eventually, right? He's gonna come back for revenge.
so
Because he was pissed when I cut his hands off. He's like, "I'm gonna fucking
well, yeah,
kill you,
might be a
motherfucker!"
little mad. He's pounding on the ground like,
Oh, you
ah.
son of a bitch!
Right.
Yes,
But
I
yeah,
got his
you actually have
powers.
to end up going back after Hugo, and he becomes Titan, and you got to fight him as Titan.
So I ended up inheriting his powers, and I like him. So I ended up unlocking the one that you can lift up the ground, and like it kind of creates like a wave,
Like the
with,
ultimate, like
ground.
it's kind of like the finisher, the one that has the big
I
cooldown.
know.
Yeah, I used that for a little while.
I used that one a lot. That one's fucking sick. I'm like, that's fucking sick, dude.
I use a lot of the wind with the tornado because it creates a bunch of stagger. It's really good against bosses, so it gets your stagger bar dropped real quick to get them so you can have them.
I like a lot of the powers, and like I didn't. I guess like when you go into that wheel where they have all the abilities and all those powers, there's a lot of unlocks you can do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of customization there, a lot of different options, honestly.
Do you respec it all when you get new ones? I do.
I haven't, but like you have the 3 main abilities, right? But then you can always switch those out. You can switch them out for different types of abilities, different types of like the one fire ability I have now, instead of like I used to have the one where like he would like swing really fast and like fire would come out. But now I have one where like I don't know, Clive does some weird shit and like a bunch of fire goes around him, but it's like in like little orbs, and they
the
like float
defensive
around
one.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it does defense against like range attacks, and like it blocks attacks that enemies throw at you, which I think that's fucking helpful as shit. I'm like, this is actually really helpful. So I ended up equipping that. I ended up equipping another one. And like the lightning ones, I like the lightning ones.
Later on you get like there's a lightning one I was getting ready to say. I think it's like a rod you put down and you like hit it and it affects everybody in the area. There's a couple other ones you can get later on. There's this one that like pulls people to one spot. It's like an orb you hit and it pulls them all to one spot. And then you can like start mixing it like with the lightning, like because you can put that rod down right there, and then you can start doing some like combo type stuff once you start getting people gathered. And
I like it. The one that I have right now is you put down like a thing on the ground, and like I think it's like an electric thing or whatever, and you hit it and it shocks everyone.
And you're where I'm at, and like when I was looking at my abilities list, right? You only have like half of it filled up, and I was looking at it, I'm going, what's the other half? You know? And now I'm starting to I know because I'm still further, and I've gotten 2 more abilities after that, after the rock. I think 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I think it's
just like 7 in total, right?
Yeah, so I think I have 2 I'm missing. So I'm guessing the last one I'm gonna be missing is Odin, the main bad guy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the other one's gonna be. Because
Maybe
there's
the one
Odin,
your mom has.
There's Odin, and then there's the main bad guy, which is Ultima. Like I don't know I don't know if you would get something from him or not. Because that's gonna probably be end game stuff. Unless it's for like a new game plus or something. I don't know.
There is a new game plus in this. I heard that there is, and you unlock like a special you get like a special sword if you go into new game plus. But to get to that sword you have to beat the game, and like that's the only way you get that sword.
Yeah, and then some powers later on actually I'm finding are really useful. There's some other ones you're gonna get, Jesus, that are even better than like the Titan ones and stuff. Like I dropped the rock stuff, and I'm using like this new one I just acquired from somebody, and so that's pretty neat. But I don't want to tell you whose power it is because it'll give stuff away. Okay. So, but
yeah, but I like
you got
that.
some good fights. You got some good fights coming up, and you still got some big, not necessarily plot twists, but some other things you're gonna be kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like the enemies. I like the people I'm fighting with now, and all that shit. I enjoy the game quite a bit, man, and I look forward to keep playing it, keeping playing it. Yeah, I want to play some more Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I didn't get to play any of it this week. The girlfriend has been watching me play it like nonstop, and she's like, "You are not allowed to play it without me there." And so we were gonna play it this weekend, and we didn't have time, so we didn't get to it. I think I have maybe, if I had to guess, I think I only have about 2 hours to play, maybe. So I'm getting close.
So
that's what I said last time.
Final Fantasy 16, was that the game you were? I think you might have been said you were getting dizzy, or was it something else? It was a couple. I don't know if I think it was last week you were talking about it when I wasn't on the show.
No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't that game. It was so the game, the one that's first person, the zombie one.
Okay, yeah, because there was like
Dead
some
Island.
Oh yeah. Because there's some kind of motion blur thing that they changed in Final Fantasy 16. I don't know if it was an update.
Oh, they did. I turned off the motion blur. So yeah, now you have the option to turn off the motion blur all the way. You also have the option to like unlock the camera. So before, the way the game was at default from the beginning is the camera kind of follows Clive all the time. It keeps moving by itself. Now you can have a free camera where the camera you can move it whenever you want, which helps a lot with the combat, and it also helps in terms of like just like moving around. It just helps to have the camera move wherever you want it to move, you know? It's just so much easier to control, in my opinion. And now I feel like I'm having an easier time with the combat because of that camera change. But yeah, they did change some settings where you can change the motion blur. And yeah, that game looks stunning in some of the scenes, man. In some of the scenes, I'm just like, wow, it looks really fucking good. I really can't wait to see what these developers start doing with these games further into this generation. I mean, you think about the generation, right? And we think Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and that generation lasted, in terms of before a new console came out, right? That generation lasted like 7 years or whatever, right? Because 2020 was the year the new consoles came out. And then the new consoles came out. So we're already 3 years into these consoles, man. So that means if we're following the same life cycle as the old ones, these consoles will be replaced in 4 more years.
Yeah,
which is crazy to think about, right? Like that seems like not that long from now.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they've been out that long. I don't know if it's because it's like a lack of content. You know, like
I don't know if it's
exclusive content.
Yeah,
what's going to be the mid-gen refresh?
Yeah, they say not just content, but like exclusive content. You know, next gen content.
Because so what would it be? Would it be? I mean, they can't
content that's not locked to the current gen systems. That's the problem, I think, and I think that both companies, Sony and Microsoft, are now starting to realize, you know what? We need to start making games that are exclusive to these new consoles, right?
Yeah, it's time to move on from last gen.
Yeah, like
for sure.
like Starfield. Starfield is one of the first ones from Microsoft, right? Where they're like, no, like you cannot play Starfield on your Xbox One. You can stream it. You can stream it on your Xbox One. You cannot play it natively on your Xbox One.
But you got to remember too, they pretty much had to do this because of how hard it was to get these consoles for the last few years. So it made more sense to have a bigger audience for the games, you know, by releasing on more platforms.
Yeah, I was reading a couple articles over the last couple months, reading articles, listening to podcasts, and they were talking about how what is a next gen game or what we consider like a true next gen game. And, you know, so it would be like for Xbox, it's Forza and what else? Starfield. I know there's something else out there. And then for PlayStation, I know that Unreal Engine 5, there's a game yet to come out, I think, that's going to really show off its true power. Yeah, I can't think of what the hell it is, but, you know, to really, you know, take advantage of that tech in the PS5. So, but yeah, Starfield for, the Series X, and I forgot what it was for PS5. But yeah, I don't know, because I was thinking like, I don't know, what would be we've already got 4K, and I think we just need higher frame rates, going forward for
That's
both.
not going to happen though. That's the problem.
It doesn't seem like it. Seem like it.
Because they were able to dumb down games to be able to play on lower platforms. they were able to hit higher frame rates. And now that they're trying to push these consoles to their max, they can't hit 60 frames per second anymore.
That's true.
You know?
I feel like we'd
and
be
that's,
paying.
And that's the
I
way.
feel like
That's the way the whole industry goes. It's always gone that way. You know what I mean? Like people, I don't know, understand why people are so surprised that these consoles, if you're gonna push them to their max graphically, they're not gonna be able to hold 30 frames per second. You know,
Yeah,
I think
60 frames per second.
The reason people like Gunny are complaining and saying that we want 60 FPS is because that's what these companies marketed these systems as, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look back with the Series
shouldn't have
X
done that.
launch, the Series X launch was all about that. They were like, "Oh, 4K 60 up to 8K." Like up to I remember when they said up to 8K.
8K was video playback.
Right.
8K is video playback.
We
But,
still laughed
They
because
they were still
TV,
throwing that
watch
8K out. They didn't even have to mention
were
it's on the
still
box, dude. It's on the box.
They wanted to throw that word 8K out there so you can represent power. And that was kind of my problem with the consoles when they first came out. And this is like a console thing, I feel like. Like when they always come out with new consoles, they're so great and so powerful. And they say these things, but then, even with like the 4K, they're like, oh, it's going to do 4K 60. But some of these games are 4K 60, with, running lower res, they're up-resed.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So it's like oh, it's smoke and mirrors. Like we can do it. We may have to do some stuff in the background, like to get there. You might make some sacrifice on the like with DLSS is like the resolution on the edges of the screen are going to be a little fuzzier than what you're focusing on to keep the game to be able to run smoother and stuff like that. So it's always a little bit of something that you have to like throw in there to help them.
One thing, Mayo. One thing I've kind of learned, like just being on the show and you're being the PC gamer, and in YouTube videos and all these things where I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a $500 box. It's kind of restricted to what both of them can do. These are not $800 devices. This is not an ROG or like other handheld devices in that $800 range that can do these things at 4K or higher frame rates or.
But no, they can't.
Customization.
They can't.
Yeah, they just like to throw that stuff out there, though. Like they like to throw those big names out there and get it out there. When they were coming out, like I said, they were like, "Oh, 8K video," and people are seeing. They didn't care about the video part. They just heard the word 8K.
Yeah,
and then they heard.
Yeah.
They heard 4K 60, like Jesus said. So they're like,
buzzword.
"Okay," or
buzzwords,
or 1080, 1080 at 120. Ooh, I can do 120. And now it's like 120 is kind of a thing in the
people. Remember people were buying those LG TVs that could do the 120, right?
And that's
like, oh, well, my Xbox should do 120. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, it's like really like. Okay, you're gonna be doing 120
I think this console talk helped TV sales more than anything.
Yeah.
Like everybody's buying 120 Hz TVs so they can play the best max refresh rate on their Xbox, and now the Xbox is like, we're just gonna hang back here where we're better, which is fine.
Well, no,
like I've had games where 60,
you'll still get 120
okay.
hertz out of an Xbox if the game can do it,
right? So you still it's not a waste, but.
That. It's not like they took that away from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it's just not used very often. It's like that rare feature you don't get to use as often.
But they made it sound like all their games were gonna be like this, though, right? Like that's the problem. And
no,
I guess
that's not true. That's not true. That's what you heard. What they said was the box is capable of doing it.
But
right?
when you see a first party studio coming out with a game at 30 FPS, it makes you wonder if you guys can't even make your fucking first party team make 60 FPS. What makes you think you're gonna force a third party developer to do it? Like, that's what makes you wonder if your main team, your main guys, your fucking A1 team,
I don't think
cannot make your game.
Maybe more. Yeah.
No. Okay,
there's an option.
It all depends on the game, guys. Like, if you want fucking in a story-based game, I don't give a fuck really about the frames per second. If I'm playing a single-player story game, I'm not caring about fucking 60 frames. Like 60 would be ideal. Obviously, is better, but I can deal with a 30 frames per second in a single-player game. I'm not that big of a snob that it matters to me. that
Mayo
much.
and I are.
It's not
Me
that
and
big of
Mayo
a fucking
care.
deal. Well, yeah,
It's a
because your
big
PC
deal.
At least half of
He-
us, half of us are
Matt
ratio
Leaders
care,
said-
right, Jesus?
that can't take the fact that their shit's a little lower than normal, right? You got to have the
God.
tippity top, right?
I'm gonna throw this PC away. It can't do
When you're
Starfield
40
at 60.
fucking 80s over there.
No, your PC will do Starfield 60.
It will. I'll just have to dumb it down in some areas, probably for sure. But like, yeah. So that I guess that's what people, I guess, like Gunny are saying, like, right, like we want 60, we want this. It's because you want to see, like, you paid the money for this console that they kind of promised you this stuff, and you're not seeing it. You're kind of like, whoa, why the fuck did I buy your console then, man? Like, you lied to me.
Yeah,
you lied to me.
Microsoft. What the
Hey,
hell?
You can't put this on Microsoft because Sony did the same thing.
Yeah, they both did it. Yeah,
There's a big 8K fucking on their box too.
Yep,
So don't
yep.
even try fucking making it an
Well,
Xbox
I
thing
said
because it's
both
not.
companies. I'm looking at both companies.
No,
right?
no, you're talking a lot of Microsoft. That's
The
what
reason
you're
I'm looking
saying.
at Microsoft, because Microsoft's the one that has the gun pointing at them right now, because they're the ones coming out with the games right now at 30 FPS, and people are starting to say, "Hey, you were the ones that said most
wait.
powerful console ever. You guys said you were more powerful than the PS5. Yeah, the PS5 can't do it, but the PS5 isn't the most powerful console in the world. Yours is." It's like me pulling up to Mayo in my fucking Ford and racing Mayo and kicking Mayo's ass in his Camaro, and his friends are gonna be like, "Mayo, I thought you said your Camaro was really fast, man. Like what happened? You know, like Jesus just beat you in a fucking Ford, bro. Like what the fuck? You know?"
hey, there is some fast Fords out there, just to say.
Mayo's gonna be like, "Well, fuck, just my Camaro is the fastest in Ohio."
So what you're trying to say to me is that all PlayStation games are 60 frames?
No, but they all look good.
Because they're
And they all run good.
not. Because they're really not. But they're not running at 60
truly
frames like
next
they promised,
gen
Jesus.
over in the
They
PlayStation.
promised you 60 frames per second, man. How can
No,
you let
but-
this slide? How can you do
Okay,
this?
Listen, I will tell you why I let it
You need to
slide.
sell your PlayStation right now.
No.
Your PC only
Listen,
from now on, because it's the only thing that can do 60 frames per second. You have to have 60 frames. Your eyeballs can't take it, man. They'll
They
explode.
can't.
Your brain
They
will
really
blow
can't.
up.
I think my brain cells die every time I play Final Fantasy. Okay, but listen, me and Mayo, okay, we're okay with the PS5 not doing 60. You know why? Because on the box,
yeah.
when you buy the PS5, all it has is God of War on there on the box, printed, big God of War. Okay, and it has 4K and it has that, but it doesn't say the world's most powerful system on the fucking box like the Xbox does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It says world's most powerful console.
Oh, it does on the back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was gonna
Does it really? I've never even noticed that.
I was gonna pull my box out, but it's buried under a bunch of stuff. So
I'll bet you it says most powerful system somewhere on that motherfucker.
I think it does on the back. I think you're right. I think it does say that on the back.
Okay. That's why we let the PS5 slide. Anyways.
Shut the fuck up.
Besides that, I just played a whole bunch of Bomber Crew, man. And okay, listen, I was playing Bomber Crew, right? I had this badass plane. I bought the DLC on the PlayStation. I keep supporting this fucking team. These guys must love me because they get like random money from me every like year or so. So these guys get a random purchase every fucking 6 months from me somewhere on a different platform.
On some platform, yeah, you don't know which platform it's going to be. It's like you keep them guessing. They're like, which one hasn't he gotten it yet on?
He's bought it on Epic. He's bought it on Steam. He's bought it on Xbox. He's bought it twice on Xbox, I think. I don't know. Anyways.
Do they have it for the phone yet, Jesus? Are you going to buy it for the phone?
Well, it's not available. Once it is, I will.
You should get it on PlayStation, Jesus.
He is.
I bought the DLC. The DLC on the PlayStation
will be fucking fantastic.
No, there is no haptic support for it. This game's kind of old.
Too bad. That's too bad. There's no haptic feedback there.
That is lame. Yeah, that is pretty lame.
That is an opportunity missed.
I'm gonna email them and tell them I will not buy your game till you have haptic feedback.
Haptic feedback.
I bought your DLC, but I'm gonna play this on the free Game Pass thing that PlayStation has till you guys add the haptic feedback. Anyways, I was playing this game, man. I had a badass plane, right? And typical FTL type shit, right? Where I had this badass plane, Mayo. We go do this mission, right? All my guys are alive. We're survived. There was one problem though, Mayo. The fucking guys, when we were at this, because it was like a hard mission, we killed an ace and everything. We were coming back to base. Half of my fucking wing on the side of like my plane, the fucking wing got shot off. So it's like half of the wing. So the plane usually has 4 engines. So I'm missing an engine. Half the wing is gone, completely gone. And I'm flying, I'm going back to base, and I go to land and I realize, holy fuck, we don't have landing gear. Like the landing gear, where that was under the wing, that got blown off, flew off when the wing got blown off. So I have one landing gear wheel, and we go to land, and my pilot, for some fucking reason, I don't know if he couldn't control the plane because it was only one wing, right? Almost. I don't know if he couldn't control the plane or what exactly happened. But this motherfucker goes to land, and he, instead of landing on the runway, I thought, we're gonna crash land, but we're gonna crash land on the runway, and we should be okay. Maybe one of my guys will die. No, what does this motherfucker do, guys? He ends up flying the fucking plane. Okay, we're going in straight, and the last second he's like swerving all over, and he fucking flies the plane right into the fucking camp to the base. Nowhere near the runway. Nowhere near the fucking runway. He just goes all the way to the right, and boom. Well, my plane, when it crashes into the camp, it doesn't like tear apart like normally would. No, it just blows up, and it says, "Everyone on your plane." All I see is red X's on all the crew. I'm like, no, dude.
That make me want to quit right there.
I was
That's
like,
something
no
you didn't really have any.
way.
You didn't have any control over, right? Because you can't.
No, I didn't.
Just...
I kept everyone alive on that mission. You know, I even had to revive a couple guys, but I made it, right? I was like, yes, I made it. And then we go to land, and this fucker crashes the plane, and everything's red on my screen. And then it goes to the summary of the match, right? And it says, plane destroyed, lost. So I lost my plane. Then it says crew, and it starts pulling up the crew names. Killed in action, killed in action, killed in action, killed in action. I was like, oh my God, everyone on my crew is dead. And the plane that I had just spent all this money on to upgrade and shit, gone. I was so fucking mad. I had to quit the game. I haven't gone back since. I'm so mad.
You got to finish, Jesus. You just didn't finish.
I'm going to have to restart. No, I'm going to have to restart now because that game, once it's like, it would be like FTO if you lost your spaceship and then you have to restart with the new spaceship, but in the middle of the map.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with like harder enemies, harder missions. That's what this game is. It's telling me, oh, yeah, you can recruit new people. Yeah, I can recruit new people, yes. But all these new people are like level 1 again. Okay, first of all. Second of all, my plane that I get that gets replaced with, it's like a hobo airplane. It doesn't have the shit my other plane had. Like my other plane had armor and shit on it. Had all this upgraded shit. This one doesn't. It has like this hobo shit on there. And I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna have to restart the game. So fuck you, Bomber Crew. You're the difficulty spike in that game is ridiculous if you die by something stupid like that. It really is. It's so fucking hard, man. And there's no way to like scrub the save because the game auto saves right away. Like as soon as the mission is over, like it's auto saving. As soon as you crash, it auto saves. So yeah, you're fucked. I'm fucked.
That's rough. Yeah, you
gotta. Yeah, made me want to blow up. Made me want to like throw out my PlayStation. I was so mad. I was fucking mad, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so salty that day.
You should throw out your PlayStation.
I should have. I was so mad. I was fucking mad.
You know, at this point, Jesus, I think if you let Ryan know before you do throw it out, Ryan will sneak over there and get it. He's gonna be a closet PS5 gamer.
Oh, closet PS5er.
he probably has one now. But honestly, we probably just don't know. It's probably like Ryan 8, or it's probably like Ryan 78888 or something like that, or Gibbet 78888. And it's something I should search for that profile name.
You should. You probably find him. He probably has all the trophies. all the platinum trophies on all the games. His most played game is The Last of Us.
Owns
That's
every
why-
Sony game there is.
Yeah,
That's why I
all the
always seem to know
exclusives.
all about these games.
Yeah, he's over writing reviews and everything else. This is how he knows so much about when we're talking about PlayStation games. He's like, he knows about Final Fantasy even though he hasn't played it yet. He's like, oh yeah, I know about this. I know how this happened. I remember what happened here.
Have I?
Right.
Yeah.
See, he knows what's happening. He's probably already finished Final Fantasy 7 and he's a little, or 16 and he's a little quiet.
He's on New Game Plus already, bro. He's like
Yeah.
New Game Plus.
He's got the new sword and going, I know what's going to happen.
I mean, I think anyone that's seen my Xbox profile knows that I'm playing Grounded every night. So
That's just the front. He just turns
I
Grounded
just turn
on
it on
and
every
switches
time.
to the
Leaves it on.
TV.
He leaves it on running in the background and switches
Damn it,
That's
you
what
got
it
me
is.
again.
That's what he's doing.
switches the input to the PS5 one.
Yeah.
It
Just
turns
both
on
of them run.
the PS5.
Guys, I wish.
Anyways, that's all I played, man. So really, just play a little bit of that, and that's really all I've played, man. I haven't got back into much games, but there's like a backlog on the PS5 now, man. Like I'm like, fuck, dude, this is a backlog now. Like, got all these games I want to play on there, and not enough time, you know.
I keep thinking about going back. I've seen in the PS Plus they have the Death Stranding Collector's Edition or something like that, the Enhanced Edition. There's a different edition.
That game's so good.
And I thought about playing that on my OLED in the living room, just because it's kind of sit back and chill.
You should play it before Death Stranding 2 comes out.
Yeah, cause I mean, I have it on PC, but I just feel like it's like a good, because it's such a long game and such a like slow burn.
Don't worry. Don't be in a rush, Mayo.
Oh, I'm not in a
I don't
rush.
think Death Stranding 2's coming anytime soon. Either.
Jesus is waiting. See, Ryan knows. Ryan knows when these games are coming out. And isn't it convenient, Jesus, that his name is Ryan?
Yeah.
See, I think even name.
Yeah.
Like Jim Ryan.
Oh
I mean,
God.
Yep.
Don't
You know,
associate me with that guy.
His name is not Phil. You know that. His name is Ryan. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no like X's in his name anywhere or nothing.
True. Anyways, that's all I played. What about you guys? Tell me what you've been playing.
I'll just jump in real quick. So I have not played much at all either, Jesus. Pretty much my gaming content was a little more of FTL, faster than light. And like you were saying, that game just is so hard. And every time I feel like I go into that game, I feel like I'm gonna make headway, and then I just don't. And then I just feel defeated. When I get like the seventh or eighth sector, and I'm like feeling good about myself. And like I said, all of a sudden something will happen, and it goes to shit in just like one turn. Like all of a sudden you'll go into one battle, one jump, and something will happen. All of a sudden your ship catches on fire, and everything's burning. All of a sudden one of your guy dies, and you're trying to put the fire out, and next thing you know, you're getting hit by some anomaly like like when you go to the ones that have like the solar flares, you jump in one of those and your ship catches on fire and you're trying to fight another ship, and next thing you know, you just die. And then there's like no progress made. So even like a roguelike, you get, you feel like you made some progress when you die and start over. Or FTL, you just start over, like it's. So now like I've kind of shifted a little bit, Jesus, and I kind of want to start unlocking more ships and see if I can have better luck with those ships, if they're any better or not. Probably not, but I feel like I want to try that. So I did figure out how to see a list of the ships that you can unlock, and I found out there's like 7 more ships than what I have, and I thought I had 3. I figured there's a couple more, but there's like 7 more. I remember when I first got this game a long time ago, Jesus. I don't know if you've ever messed with this on the PC, but there's actually a Steam Workshop page for it, and you can do modded ships. And they had like a ship of the like Star Trek Enterprise. It looks like that and stuff, and then you can like fly around as that.
Make it so, number one.
Which is kind of neat. But I mean that's pretty much. I played that, and I played Castle Crashers a little bit here and there. My son and I were playing some of that couch co-op, good old couch
Kyle's
co-op.
always up for Castle Crashers, my son.
Yeah, my son.
It's a great game for that.
We mentioned it the other day. My son was like, "Dad, have your girlfriend bring the Xbox back home because she has it yet, and that way we can play Castle Crashers." So then I had her bring it back, and him and I played Castle Crashers for a couple of days, got some unlocks. We got the remastered version, and again that just I don't know. I never looked at what all they redid in it. I can know it has online play. I don't think the first one had online play, did it? The original.
I can't remember.
I don't know who made that. Who made those games? But they probably made Alien Hominid.
Yeah,
Kyle.
the Behemoth.
Kyle just adores those games.
Yeah, that's fun.
I think that's his favorite developer.
Yeah, they have good comedy in their games because they also made the Pit People.
Yep.
Or it's called Pit People, and then Battle Block Theater. That has
Block,
probably the best
intros
intros I've ever seen in a game. Like the whole little ship and it throwing everybody out and just the funniness of it. And I liked how they have like references of the characters from other games in that. Like there's Castle Crasher characters in Battle Block Theater. And stuff like that. So it's just kind of neat how they kind of cross their characters up a little bit too.
Are they in Pit People too? I think.
Yeah, they're in Pit People. And there's always a person with like a triangle head. It seems like for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in Castle Crashers. I don't remember, but there's like, I guess there is kind of the one hooded guy. He's got like but that game's just a lot of fun. I can't remember. Like I unlocked a whole bunch of characters. Yeah, that has some of the best gaming music.
That constant music is very soothing.
As soon as I launched it, it would just felt so familiar. And I remember like from playing it before, we really liked the music, and it's actually got really good music. I'm like, oh, this like kind of hits home. Like it was nostalgia, kind of like, oh yeah, I remember this song. Oh, I remember this song. And then there's some classic scenes, like the whole scene where like there's one where you go through the forest and it has the deer. And it is like crapping and it like propels itself across the map and then the owl is pooping because they're all scared, and you're like, what's chasing you? And it's like this giant cat thing. And
I think when you're fighting alligators or you're on the raft or whatever, that always like confused the hell out of me. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we supposed
There's
to
one with the
jump on?
pirate ship that comes behind you, and the king is on the pirate ship. And if you like the cat pops out of the water and he spits a hairball, you break the hairball and it becomes ammo for the king's cannon. And he fires a little cannonball and it stuns the cat and it helps you attack it, stuff like that. The game is just a lot of fun. It's fun playing 2-player. Something that did kind of suck was when I was playing 2-player with my son, he just signed into it as a guest profile, and it doesn't save his progress. So we went to go play the second time around. Only one of our accounts was, my main account. The character progress was saved. So we ended up making another Xbox account for my son to use, so it actually saves it so we can sign in. We just signed it to the controller, which is really nice. That is like a nice Xbox feature. I do like that.
Yeah,
never really
as soon
gets
as you
talked about
start
much.
the controller, there's no confusion.
Yeah, like you start that controller in that
to?
account, and I'm assuming you can take it and if you Bluetooth whatever to or pair it with another Xbox, it keeps your information, right? I mean, you're still that account, right? So that is a very nice feature having that. I've never used it that way.
Of the controller,
but. Yeah, I'm past the age of bringing my Xbox controller with me to my friend's house. We don't quite do that, but it is a good idea. It'd be even better if there was more couch co-op games that had that utilized it. I think, but not a ton of that stuff. But after that, it's pretty much it. I think I downloaded a couple more games. I did get back in the Yakuza, the dragon one. I can't remember the name of it now.
Oh, Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon, that's what it was. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like it right away. I thought it was just okay. So I gave it a little bit more time, and I'm still not feeling it. Like it doesn't just. It's just something about it.
I know where I got with it too. I got about maybe like halfway, and I was like,
the dialogue was kind of weird sometimes.
It twice.
I thought, and it just like
I don't know.
I couldn't really get connected to like the characters or anything like that, or I just didn't feel like it was pulling me in very well. So I think I'm probably gonna be done with that game. Find something better to play.
And there's a new one out there. It looks dumb as hell. I don't know. There's something about it where even that game was like
the Like a Dragon is the newest one, right? And then there's a new one coming out.
No, there's an even newer. Well, it's not. It's a Yakuza game, but it's not.
No, Judgment. You're thinking.
Is that the one where they're in the cave system or something?
The one where they're in the court.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking of another Yakuza game that's out there.
Yeah, you're like a lawyer or something for the Yakuza. I can't remember, but it's called Judgment. But it's part of the Yakuza series.
But yes, I can really get into it. I know some people liked it, but
I'll Google it.
It just really wasn't for me. It just feels very. I mean, it looked all right. Like graphically and all that kind of stuff. It felt like it's open world, but then sometimes it seems kind of small. Like you would get like these cutscenes, and then they would be like run over here, and you felt like you're kind of limited. You could maybe take different alleyways, but you just kind of went to your point and then went on to give you something new, and you get the random encounters of enemies, and you just kind of like attack them real quick, whatever. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much like all I played. A little bit of Gran Turismo as well. Got stuck on a racing series that I've been having a hard time with. It has like it's like a 3 different track race. It's like a cup, and the first track it's in the rain, but you can only have so many like performance points, is what they call. Like a car can only be ranked so high, and it seems like if you want to put rain tires on it, it adds a ton of performance points to your car. But you're racing in the rain. And so like a lot of times like the cars like I want to use, I can't use because if I put racing rain tires on it, it puts it way out of the performance range. And then if I pick a car that I can put rain tires on, it's usually not powerful enough to keep up. It's like you're racing against like some souped up cars and there's like a Ferrari and a Lamborghini and stuff on there and like an Audi, and you have to use like a Subaru WRX or something like that with all season or like racing rain tires to be able to like handle the rain very well. So I don't know if I just want to like not do as well on just that one race and then try to win the other 2 races with a better car or what, but I haven't quite figured out that one. And I've been just kind of rolling through the game the whole time until I get to this point. Now I'm kind of like I've tried like 4 or 5 different cars. I've even bought a couple cars thinking this car would be better for this situation, and it's usually not. Like I'm like, okay, well that one didn't work. Well, this one didn't work. So it's kind of a mix, but it's
I
still
think
a fun
Forza does
game.
the same thing like that. Yeah,
I
where
just
it's like, wait, that doesn't work. Yeah,
I just can't get into Gran Turismo as much as I got into Forza. Like I really like Forza Horizon. That game is just probably by far my favorite racing game. Um, this one I still don't like the car view, like where you can see the car. I don't think the game looks as good when you're in that view. The car doesn't look as well. It's like the car doesn't really feel like it's planted on the road. It just feels like it's kind of like a picture there, and
yeah.
everything else is just moving by you. And where its first person view is nice, I like that. And the in the car view is nice, but in the car view is so obstructed, it's so hard to drive. I feel like it's a cool view and it's nice eye candy, but it's so hard to drive and try to race in that view that I just used the in front of the car view only, to where like if I'm playing Forza or whatever, I'm always like behind the car view, and it feels way more planted. Like the car just feels like it's actually going through the environment, where Turismo does not feel that way, in my opinion. It just
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't know why. It just something about it that doesn't feel like it's connected.
You have to try Motorsport when it comes out. And
Yeah, and
compare.
I don't think well the one that
Or check
Gunny
out
used to
7.
play, that one had a
Motorsport.
weird history because I didn't have an Xbox at the time, and it really wasn't on PC much. I remember they did like a demo through the
No.
Windows Store or something, and then it was just gone, and you're just like,
So that you said it wasn't
okay,
on there anymore, right? On the Windows, because that's when I first got this PC and I downloaded that
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
kind
not
of
there
demo for
anymore.
7. But it wasn't called that, right? It was called Apex or something. Forza Apex,
Forza
I think.
Apex, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that looked crisp and clean,
and it was
and
just weird. Nobody like it just never. You never heard anymore after that, it just kind of like disappeared. And
it was kind of that transition between they didn't know what they were going to do, and then that's when Game Pass was created. Shortly after that, remember they were doing Halo. It was Halo 5.
No,
Um,
are you talking about the
it
Spartan Assault games and stuff like that? The
no, they were doing
top-down
something with
dual stick
Halo.
shooters?
Yeah, fuck, what was it? It was the what's the mode like they create in there that's like Portal, not Portal, but
yeah, I know you're talking about
with
the
the
where
Like
you
creative,
Griffball?
yeah. Huh?
sort or
Griffball?
Yeah, but it was like the different modes that you could do. It was almost like different modded things, like, but they
yeah, you
weren't
could like
mods.
it's like a level editor type thing, wouldn't it, or
Oh,
There
something
you
like
go.
that?
Forge. Forge mode.
Maybe it was
Forge,
yeah, it was
yeah,
Forge. Yeah, yeah. So that came out around the same time, and then it was kind of like everything was at a standstill because it was like, all right, what's Microsoft's next move? What are they doing here? And then they said, oh, we're going to do the Game Pass thing. So, and they kind of went forward with that, and that created that PC Game Pass. So, but yeah, I guess they left. Well, I don't know. Forza 7. I don't know if it's on there or not. I'd
yeah.
double
I'm
check.
gonna pull it up here and look while we're still talking, and I'll see if it is in a little bit here or not. But I don't think it is. I remember looking,
No, I
but
think it was on only console. But I could be wrong.
And then I feel like, when I go back to the newest Forza Horizon, do you guys not like that one as well? I don't think I like the newest one as well.
No, I prefer. I'm more. Yeah, like 4 is like was it for me. You know, like 3
see
and 4.
three was it for me. I liked
The
3,
Mexico
and then
one.
I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
the Mexico
What
one
do you
as well
think of
for
that
some
one,
reason.
Jesus? I just can't get into it too much.
I like it because it's Mexico. But I'm not a.
All right, let's go to the
But-
volcano.
Yeah, but I'm like, honestly, by the time that one came out, I was like, whatever. Like, I'm over the formula, like. It's the same shit, just a different setting. It's like
So is Call of Duty. But
kind
you
of
play it
boring
every
to
year.
me.
Now, Ryan,
It's the same fucking shit.
But no, Call of Duty is different. Different guns,
No, it's
bro.
No, it's
Different
not.
Different upgrades.
Different cars, different upgrades for the
maps,
cars.
Same cars. How many times can you drive an F1 McLaren, Mayo?
You don't have to. You can drive
Change the
any
color.
Lamborghini.
Make it
any
blue
car you
this
want.
time.
Lame. I'm not a big fan of racing games, anyways, in general. So, like,
God, how many times do you shoot an AK-47?
Like once, bro, because no one uses that shit. You upgrade to the M4, man. Come on.
Right, and then an M4, yeah,
New skin
Not
for
the same
M4
shit.
makes
It's
it
the
different.
same fucking shit, Jesus. You don't see it.
It's boring.
It's the exact same shit. The guns are the cars. The fucking. It's the same shit.
The
Gran
M4 now shoots
Turismo is
rainbow
probably
bullets.
better, Mayo.
Oh God, here we go.
Gran Turismo is better.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And Sony ponies below us here, Ryan.
There's a Forza coming out this year, right?
The motorsport
one, yeah.
That's gonna be the simulation like
they
Gran
haven't
Turismo.
even
October, November.
They didn't even did they even show it at the game at E3?
No, but they showed it
the date,
previously.
didn't
they showed it back in March? Was it? Where they were showing like the new dirt tech, like you can get dust on your car.
Oh wow, the new dirt tech, bro!
Oh, I remember we talked about the dirt
on your
tech.
road racer. Yes.
Oh, but that they had dirt tech before.
No, this isn't new dirt tech. This is new dirt tech.
I
you
didn't
get dirt
see
on the
any of this
windshield, dirt
I don't
on
know
the
what Gunny's
car.
talking about.
No, I'm serious. Go back, check it out. It happened in.
I'm glad Microsoft realizes
April.
that Forza is like a good game, but like,
remember we were talking about pouring dirt on Phil's car?
Maybe not that many people care about racing games as much as they used to, I guess.
I think not as many people care about the motorsport version.
Yeah, I think that's the more arcade
There's
version.
no licensed music. It's just kind of what it is, right? You just get in there.
It's that
but
Forza
that's what
music.
that's what motorsport
stuff,
is kind of for. It's for the enthusiasts, right? It's for those people that really want to go in and tweak their car and fuck around with it.
Flight
Look
Sim.
at it in Vista mode.
It's like the flight simulator, yeah.
They can pop the hood and
it's like flight
turn the screws and exactly. It has its niche audience. Flight Simulator is the same thing, right?
But I remember back in the day, right? Like think I would say pre-COVID E3s. You remember back then they had like Ferraris on the stage and shit. They would have like Porsches on the stage.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think this time around they got a license for Porsche cars, did they?
No, they went with what, Mayo Chevrolet or
Chevy in the last video they did a partnership. They did the Corvette,
Yeah, the Corvette, that's right.
It was the Chevy, right?
Yeah. Cadillac and Corvette.
Yeah, because remember back in the day, it used to be Porsche. They used to have like all these Porsche licenses and shit. And they must have just said, you know what, guys?
Drop them from the ceiling.
Yeah. They're like, why are we spending all this money on these fucking licenses for these cars? Like,
why are we dropping cars from the sky? What the fuck are we doing?
Why are we driving Phil's car onto the stage? Why are we driving Bill Gates' car onto the stage right now? What's going on?
I think Microsoft is just sending a message, Jesus, is what they're doing, right? So they're mad at Europe right now. So we're not driving any European cars. No Porsche. Nothing German. We're American over here.
No BMW.
We're going to show off with American cars this time because since the EU over there is being a pain in our side right now.
I didn't even think about that, man.
We're just going to not include their car anymore.
Yeah. This is
America
over here.
We're gonna have a big truck on stage. Yeah,
It's gonna be a big old 4x4 truck.
Big old
Ford F. It's the Ford F750 series.
It's gonna be the Ford. They actually make a racing Ford truck. It's called the Super Snake truck. Or it's like this F-150 Super Snake. I actually just saw one at a car event I was to like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't realize how expensive it was. It's $130,000.
Damn! Wow. I was looking at cars because you guys were talking about it last week. Not looking too much, but at the looking to get a truck like the Ford Ranger or the Toyota Tacoma. I don't need a big truck.
Gunny, if you don't get a Super Snake, you're lame.
I've never even heard of that.
770 or 775 horsepower, Gunny. You need it in California.
Damn, but I was looking at like the Raptors, and they make a Raptor version, obviously for the 150, the Ranger. Yeah. Why would they fuck with you make one for the Ranger? But yeah, looking at that price tag of $80K, I was like, oh shit, that's too much for me. Yeah, too much for a little truck. Get out of here with that.
What's the Dodge version of the Raptor? Is it called like the Rebel?
The TRX.
That was Toyota, wasn't it Toyota?
No, that's TRD.
What's Toyota?
That's TRD. That's the turd. That's
I always call them the turd. Yeah. The TRX is the Hellcat powered Dodge Ram.
Yeah. Get one of those, Gunny.
Yeah.
Or get the Hellcat Jeep, the Trailblazer, Trackhawk. That's what they're called.
Yeah, the Trackhawk. Yeah.
The what?
It's called a Trackhawk.
Yeah, the Trackhawk. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Go race. Your wife can race everyone.
Jeep has the trail. Yeah, the Trailhawk. Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, it's a lot different, Gunny.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But, get one for Kyle. Get him a Super Snake.
Yeah, he needs a 700 horsepower truck. Get him a ribbon.
Oh no, because he'll be on our insurance, so that's not going to happen.
Well, if you get a ribbon, I think Amazon like bought him out or something like that. So your wife is an Amazon fan; she might go for that. Yeah. They make a truck. That's what you need, Gunny. You need a ribbon.
Isn't it
truck.
Rivia or something? Yeah.
Rivan.
Oh, it is Rivian. Yeah.
They only make a truck and an SUV.
Yeah. Do it.
All electric.
Those are pretty popular in Oregon. Honestly.
Yeah, you fit right into California with that.
Yeah, I see those a lot, and you see Teslas.
We don't like big oil out here.
I live by like a rich area. When I go over to the rich area over there, that's all I see is Teslas and those ribbon trucks.
Over here, you see Teslas in the hood, man. You see those fuckers everywhere. Yeah. You see them like in the ghetto. You see them everywhere. Those motherfuckers, they're like impossible to avoid, dude. Literally, they're fucking everywhere. It's like, what the fuck?
And they're everywhere now, man. Like fucking. Yeah. Even here, there's Teslas all over the fucking place.
That Rivian truck is pretty popular too, and also that what's that other car? The Polaris.
Yeah,
Polaris. I see that car quite often too over here.
Did you guys see the new? I know that Elon built his first Tesla truck.
No, I haven't seen one of those.
Saw it on the Twitter.
Truck.
Those ugly ass trucks. I haven't seen any of those. I've seen the Rivian trucks.
It's not in production yet. I mean, it's starting now, but
American-made trucks.
Yeah, trucks.
I also see a lot of those electric Mustangs around here too.
Yeah,
just so you know,
those are like disowned by the Mustang people. They're like, that's not a Mustang.
Just so you know, Jesus, most of those trucks, especially the GM ones, were made in Canada
or Mexico. One of the two.
Or Mexico, yeah.
They're not made here.
How fucking dare you? Them there's American cars.
All Canadian.
American made.
F-150s all made in Mexico.
You should check it. Next time you buy a GM vehicle, you might want to check and make sure it's
made. Not here.
Did American make this or did a Mexican make this? And they're going to be like, sir, we don't know. I'll be like,
is it a Canadian or a Mexican?
Is it a Mexican or a Canadian? Which one?
We have like a huge GM plant. Like, not that far from me.
There's a huge GM
and they did
plant.
all the Camaros too, Mayo. They did Camaros there for a long time.
I know they have some that come from Detroit actually, but I know there's like the final assembly place. Like they have them lined up.
Yeah.
One of my Cadillac.
If you look in your manual, it should tell you where the final assembly was.
Yeah. I mean, all these cars anymore though. Like what I've learned is, these parts come from everywhere. They outsource all their parts.
Yeah, so
I've known people that work in factories, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
Mayo,
they all come through
brake
Canada.
pedals. We make brake pedals for everybody, for Ford, Chevy, Dodge. They make
Yeah.
parts, and it's just
Body by Fisher.
Mayo's gonna find out his Camaro came from Canada. He's gonna throw it away. He's gonna drive that thing right
no,
into the river.
no, I'm not
Drive
throwing
it.
that
He's
thing
gonna drive
away.
it into the
No, I
border.
doubt that.
Take your
No,
car.
This is not an American car.
A fairly large chunk of the Camaros, probably
Yeah, I
for
think
a
they're.
good 10-year period, were coming out of here.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
I
it,
knew a
but
lot of them come out of Canada.
I was watching
Yeah.
this documentary where all those ships come in and where they bring all the car parts. They first have to go to Canada.
Yeah, there was a point where it was like you would, before the Camaro, the new Camaro, like one you have before that new version had just started coming out. If
Mhm.
you drove through Oshawa, you would see Camaros everywhere because they were driving them out of the plant and into the parking lot. And whenever you were around that area, you would see all these fucking Camaros all over the place. And then they did trucks, a lot of trucks too.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's all the car talk I have right
But
now.
you know
I
what?
guess.
All I know is gas here in Oregon is fucking ridiculous, dude. It
Oh
is so
I
expensive.
only paid $509. Well, I
Mayo
guess
told me
only
gas,
Oh
$509.
yeah,
gas
yeah, we were
prices
talking
in
today.
Ohio. Dude, I wish I had those gas prices. Those were gas prices in
And that's actually
that was
more than I
2
paid,
years
Jesus,
ago for
because
us.
so my Camaro I converted over to E85, so it's corn based. Jesus, we're running on corn over here. It's super
Good
cheap.
corn whiskey fuel.
I can't remember the last.
Mayo
I
runs
want to say
on corn.
I paid like $2.60 a gallon the last time I got gas. I think in the
I
Camaro.
fucking wish, dude.
Damn.
I wish.
Last
Last time
But,
I seen 290 was like in 2017 or
But the
18.
negative is it burns way faster. I can't even get 200 mile on a tank right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
yeah, so it's
Oh,
unfortunate.
miles,
Like
though. Miles. Okay.
yeah, so it's like an 18-gallon tank, and if I fill it completely, it's like 200 mile, like 205 or till empty or
You know what
something
you
like
gotta
that.
do, Mayo? It's just fill up your trunk, put like a liner in your trunk, fill it up.
Put a bladder back there.
But I just go to the gas station more often. That's all. I just have to go
Turn
more
your
often.
trunk into a secondary gas tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now it's I just looked it up. Right now it's 273 for E85 where I'm at.
Make it a fucking 50-gallon gas tank. Now you could drive 500 miles. Yeah.
And
We're
regular
gonna
Someone hits you,
regular
you
is
blow up
339.
real
So.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Rear end
fine.
explosion.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine, Mayo. It's American made.
Yeah.
That's why I bought
Canadian made, American owned.
Oh shit.
That's
Anyways, but
all
yeah,
I've
man,
been playing.
gas prices here ridiculous. 480 something for a gas, dude. I'm like, this is fucking
480?
insane. Yeah, dude, it went
That's
up.
what we used to
50.
pay. Jesus,
It
now
went
we're
up
paying
Isn't it good with a
509.
gallon? A gallon is 3.5, almost 4 liters or something like that.
Maybe, I don't know.
'Cause I'm at a
It's
buck,
like 3
I
point
think you're right. It's
something,
like
yeah.
3 point something. Yeah.
I'm at $1.60 a liter.
Okay. That's
So it's
roughly a little bit more than us.
Let's just say what? Let's just say
$5.
3.5. Yeah.
Do you pay more in taxes up there on your per
Yes.
gallon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon has pretty high gas tax too, man.
But you don't pay tax on anything else, so don't even fucking talk to me about that.
We pay a lot of income tax though. We get taxed on our paychecks a lot.
I get taxed on everything. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that sucks, man. But you got $3 gas over there. That's a good thing.
So we're at about $5.60 a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm
I
paying
thought we were
509.
paying
I'm
high
crying here.
prices. I thought we were paying high
Canadian.
prices.
That's Canadian too, right? So.
Oh, that's monopoly money. That's like $1
Yeah, it is.
American. Anyways, what else, Gunny? What you been playing? Or Ryan, whichever one.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I've been playing. What the heck have I been playing? I played a little bit of Exoprimal.
I looked at that. That's that. It looks like a weird game. Tell me about it.
It's a dinosaur game.
Okay.
I played some of it too.
I haven't played a lot, so I can't speak for what the rest of the game does, but what I played was group up in a group of people in a multiplayer match.
5 players, I believe.
5 players, and you all go walk a line where they lock you into a room and drop a bunch of dinosaurs on your head and you kill them. And then you move to the next room and they lock you in a room and you dump a bunch more dinosaurs on your head and you kill them. And you just keep going and you level up, and I guess there's like upgrades and stuff like that, but I haven't gotten into any of that stuff yet. I don't know, man. I think it would be fun with like you get a group of friends together and you guys are all shooting the shit, having a good time, just killing dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's a good horde mode. I can see the horde mode. I mean, that's what I'm going to call it, because there's also
these little portals fucking pop up in the sky and dinosaurs start pouring out of them. It's
kind of like
a
Earth
little
Defense Force.
And dinosaurs. Kind of, yeah. A really good looking Earth Defense Force with dinosaurs.
Yeah, it looks really good. So if Earth Defense Force and Overwatch had a baby, would be a...
Except Earth Defense Force was more open world. This is more like lock you in a corridor and fight all these dinosaurs. Like it's
or part of a town. Like there's
kind of feeling gameplay, like I don't know. It just didn't appeal to me so far. Maybe I could, like I said, I could see getting together with a group of people and having fun with it, but it's not something I'm going like I'm thinking about at work when I want to, I gotta get home, play some more Exoprimal. You know what I mean? Like it's just
I don't know if there's got to be like 5
to me. That's how I feel about it.
There's got to be like 5 classes. I can't name all 5 right here, but obviously there's your heavy. There's the guy who's lighter, who's more nimble, and but everybody has their like special
the sniper
abilities.
Guy and the tank guy and
the healer,
the healers, and you have all your different classes.
And you're basically in an what would you call it? An exo suit, because it's not really a mech suit. It's slightly larger than you look like Iron Man when you jump into it. You don't look like it, but that's the animation of how it closes around you. Damn, what was the old Ryan? What was the old Capcom games? Fuck that! It almost reminds me of like these exo.
Vanquish.
Oh, it was Vanquish, and then before that, there was another set of games. Capcom? I know there was 2. Yeah, I believe it was Capcom. I know somebody out there's yelling at me right now. I know what the fuck it was, but it kind of reminds me of it.
It reminds me of Vanquish, but without the sliding around and stuff. But the sort of the art style and whatever reminds me of Vanquish.
Yeah.
Not really the gameplay so much.
But then I guess the PvP part of it is kind of like the Overwatch part where you're doing like that mission escort.
There was an escort mission where you had to escort this cube and you had to get there faster than the other team. So you're battling all these hordes of dinosaurs that come in and you have to finish them off quicker than the other team does to win. And then at the very end, you both come around a corner and you're like fighting. You can fight each other, and then if you blow up their cube, then you'll keep moving, and theirs stops. And I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, so that Exoprimal. I don't know if you got more to say about it, Gunny, but I don't know.
No, I'm just before where you were, right? Where I just finished all the tutorial stuff. Now ready to do multiplayer PvP. So I was reading like some of the Steam review things to kind of get more information on it. They were talking about how you have to go through like, so there is like a story mode apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's far, what I thought I was doing, but I don't know. Like,
I think you have to do like the multiplayer stuff. I don't know if you have to win, but they were saying like you have to do certain missions, whether it's the PvE, PvP to further the story. So there's that, where I guess people are complaining about that. Like, why do I have to do these online missions and then get to continue the story stuff? But I can't see, like, I don't know. Because the story stuff is basically just, you're just using bots, right? Besides you. But one of the things it does teach you in that tutorial is where I think you can hit that kind of that select button and change your your character to a different class.
Yeah, you can switch to any of the classes at any time, I think. I
don't know about that, if you could do it at any time or not. I don't know if you have to choose like in a multiplayer, since I haven't played it. I'll talk about it next week.
From what I saw, it seemed like you could, but I never did it because I just used the guy that I had.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think that like the healer guys, like it's like called repair or something. So as long as you're standing within that circle, like your suit is getting
blows
repaired.
off a big huge circle and then you'll get repaired.
Kind of remind me of what was it? Ubisoft's game here. But yeah, as long as you're within that section. But I don't know. It's kind of bonkers, right? Because there's just little dinosaurs all over the place. There's always at least one T-Rex, that you're fighting. So
yeah.
Cool.
Other than that, I did play Grounded with Gunny.
Yeah, we played that a couple of weeks ago. I was going to talk about that.
No, we played that a couple of days.
You were like, "Let's go do the end boss." I don't know if we talked about that on the show.
Is there any new updates to it, Ryan? Have they done anything new recently?
Oh, since you've been in?
No, since you last talked about it. I know you.
Oh no, nothing new
so
yet.
Nothing too new, but you're just kind of going through and doing some.
I'm going through doing boss battles right now, so I'm just going and facing the 4 different bosses over and over again, just to farm them, for parts, and I just try and grab some people, whoever. Hey, come with me. Let's go fight it. If we don't win, it doesn't matter. I don't care. It's just let's go have some fun, So I had Gunny in, and then Wing came in the other day with me, and we took on the Broodmother. I took Gunny to the infected Broodmother, I think. Didn't we go to the infected one?
Yeah. That was up in the tree. Remember, I got lost, and I'm like, "What do I do? I'm gonna fall down."
No, that's the regular Broodmother.
That was the one, but still, that one was fight it 3 times, but we only got it twice.
Didn't I take you down into the cave where the infected one was?
I don't think so.
All the glowing water and stuff? No.
No.
I thought I took you down there, but yeah. I usually do that with a bigger group because she's a fucking hard bitch to kill. But I have killed her. Yay! But with that game, they just pushed an update the other day that fixed one of the glitches that I had, and I thought I was finally going to be able to 100% this game. And I got the things that I needed to 100% the game, and it still says I'm at 99%. And I'm so pissed off.
What do you got to do?
I don't know. I don't know now. I
mean, what was you trying to do originally? Like, what was the last thing you thought 100%. You had to do?
I had to find all the milk molars. I had to get all the places, which I did. I had to find a couple of tapes that I had missed, and collect some trinkets. But then I found out that I didn't need trinkets to get 100%. So, yeah, there's a lot to do in that game, man. And I know it's like a slog at first, but that's why I kind of like bringing people in to see what the end game is like, what tier 3 weapons and fighting these insects when you have a higher level, is like, because it's very intimidating when you first start the game, and it's hard. Like you don't fight things.
Yeah.
You don't fight things in the beginning. You run from things. And then, as you start fighting things and you start learning the patterns, you start getting better weapons and better armor and better things to craft. So, and then you start finding trinkets and badges that help you more. And then that's how the game kind of goes, but it's very difficult in the beginning.
Yeah. What are the extra things that you had me
like quite a few times? And I'm like, man, it's so hard to go back to like having nothing and being used to having, water to drink and food that I can just eat off the ground, and you know what I mean? Like it was.
Yeah.
You go back to the beginning, you don't have any of that stuff.
There was something in there that reminded me of Elden Ring almost. What was it that you kept having me enable when we were fighting the infected Broodmother? Where you're like, okay, you've got these things unlocked, where you should enable them.
Oh, your mutations.
Mutations, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? There's like too many menus in this game. Enable this, enable that.
Not really.
I guess once you get used to it, I mean,
once you understand what everything does, it's not really that hard to.
It's probably a little harder for Gunny to be thrown into it sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like you're the in-game content.
Throwing you into
no
an
idea.
game where everything is unlocked and you haven't learned anything from tutorials, right? So,
right.
But it's
I mean, it's like, I think, one of the things where, when you look at that world, right? If you're looking at it from a menu perspective, it seems kind of small, but it just takes a while to get to where you need to go. Right? It seems like it takes a long time even to, like, how you're going to have those, what is it? The wires, what am I thinking of? To get from A to B, right? With your,
the zip lines.
Zip lines. Thank you. Yeah. Like, so.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell you
up
set this up? Yeah.
I have them set up to basically do runs for certain things. But yeah. You should come join again, Mayo, sometime. Maybe Gunny can come in and we'll all go. We'll go kill some
Game
bosses.
Pass again. I'll have to hop back in.
And it's always a cool where, like, I can jump in. Like, let's say if I jump into Ryan's game, like, I'm already wearing the armor he gave me. I already have the weapons. Like, there's no like, oh, let me go search for it. I've got to.
No, you won't, Gunny. Remember, I had you drop everything.
I don't remember that. Oh well, no. I didn't know
when you came in, because remember, everything was like. I have a set. If you come in to play with me, I have a set of armor and a set of weapons and a set of everything that's almost fully leveled up that I'll give you. But
but that was the resources
when you're done. No, the weapons and everything.
Okay, so I guess it did when I pressed X on
because you were in my game before. That's why you had stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was getting to. Where
if you came in and you were playing with me constantly and you made your own weapons and stuff like that, the weapons that you had will always stay with you when you log in.
Which I think is a great feature. That it's already there.
I'm getting you to take the stuff off because I use it with other people, right?
Sure.
So remember last time you came in, I said, "Oh, make sure you put your stuff back in the basket when we're done." So you go back, put it in the basket, and that way, fucking the next person that comes in, I have stuff to give them for.
Yeah. I feel like that's a seamless process. It's a good feature.
It is, but that's grounded. Yeah, I'm just taking on bosses and wandering around trying to find whatever the hell is left for me to find. I don't know what the hell it is. I go through all the file folders and everything's labeled out. Everything is said that I've gotten it finally. I'm so mad that it's still
it's like
stuck
Wing
at 99%.
with Hogwarts, right? Where he got the 99%, like on the achievements.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
don't know if you ever 100% of that, but
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
He came and played Grounded with me for a little while. We went and and fought the Broodmother, and I think he had a good time. We were doing all right. We killed her once. And he had a good laugh too because I told him, I said, he goes, "So was this like the hardest boss?" And I'm like, no, dude. This one was the easiest one.
Jeez, yeah.
Same with the one you fought, Gunny. That's like the easiest boss in the game. The other bosses are much harder. Especially the infected Broodmother. She gets up 3 times.
Gosh, when they start laying out that smoke, and it's like, if you don't have a gas mask, you're gonna die.
Those are the stink bugs. Yeah.
Well, right. So when they hit you, yeah, it's like your health bar turns green. It's like, not the green that you want. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, when you get poisoned. Yeah.
Poisoned. Yeah.
Other than that, I've been playing more Pinball Effects. Nothing new there. I don't think there's anything new announced that I can think of. Hopefully there'll be something coming out soon because it's been a little bit. There should be a couple new tables coming out at some point.
Scooby-Doo.
And then just a little wobbly life in Minecraft with my daughter. About it for me. What about you, Gunny?
For me, I didn't get to play it all like this week, but the prior week, I did get a little Diablo 4 time in, but
I did play Diablo 4 a little bit too.
Still haven't made it to 40. I'm still at 38.
I don't know why I can't fire that game up. My son has it, and I installed it on my PC. I just don't know why I don't want to fire that game up. I'm intrigued by it.
That is a true PC game, man. Start it on PC.
Yeah, man.
I like 3. I don't know what's keeping me from jumping in and creating a character on 4.
Gunny, we should play more Diablo together because we're right around the same. I'm 38, I think.
Yeah, I'm 38, so we're right there next to each other. Yep.
Maybe it's because I'm so late into the game. Like want to jump into it because when my son bought it, he bought it, like early. He had the early access and he played like nonstop. Got the level 100 real quick.
Mayo, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'll start a new character.
Yeah, I need to like just jump in it and maybe
if you want if you want to group up, then we can all start characters together and fucking
yeah. Because you can start as many.
It's just a matter of getting the time to play together, right?
Yeah.
I only care about one, so if I keep making 3 or 4 different ones, right, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like I remember my Diablo 3 experience was, level 3 fucking paladin, whatever. Okay, whatever. Not gonna play that one anymore.
I'll have to get you guys my son's tag because I'm using his account. So I think I would probably have to use his tag. I'm gonna assume.
Maybe because it's BattleNet.
Yeah, because it's a BattleNet tag. But I'll get it to you guys.
Tell him don't delete it.
Yeah, I'm not going to delete his account. I think he'd be kind of mad.
Not the account, but the character, because he'll see it and he'll be like, "I didn't do that."
Oh yeah, his level 100. Yeah, he's going to be like, "Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't think you needed that character anymore."
Right.
He's 100. He's done. He's done. You can't do any more with him.
Yeah, but really, like where I'm at right now with 38 is where I'm trying to explore more of the left side area of the map where it's more. Who am I thinking of in Game of Thrones, right? Where, that kind of like desert sandy area, doing some story missions over there. And, I feel like enough, items are dropping that to where I feel like I'm not dying as much and I'm just kind of wrecking through a lot of those enemies out there. So, when you're getting your different rubies and shit and putting those in your, all your equipment. So, yeah. Just having a blast with that. I definitely need to play more of that, man. But work, man, it pisses me off. But yeah, like I came home Saturday or was it Sunday? All day Sunday, I played. I just could not get away from Project Zomboid. I just had to get my fill in, and this is on PC on my Steam with my mods.
Yeah, I kept wanting to invite you to play Grounded, but I saw you were playing that, and I was like, he's on the PC. I won't.
Gosh, I didn't even have the Xbox on. I don't even think. I think I pre-installed, a couple games on there. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna go play more Project Zomboid. I just kept going back to it, and I turned it off and play for another hour, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go back to Xbox. But I was having a pretty good run where I was trying to feel like I've said this before. I've always wanted that, like, quality of life mods, right? There actually is one. I forgot what it's called. It's called like a better Project Zomboid. I don't know. It's like things like where, you want to reduce stress to smoke cigarettes. You can light it with a campfire. You don't have to have matches or a lighter or there's other little simple things that mod does. So I did start a good run Sunday morning where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do like a sandbox mode where you can really change a lot of things in it. Level up faster, less zombies, shit like that. More ammo to find, right? Because you still have to go out and find everything. Where I'm like, okay, I'll just go with like the regular easy mode, which I feel like it's easier than the actual sandbox mode, where there are less hordes in the game. But I think that's by design, right? Where you're kind of starting from, a point where there are less, the water and power are still running. Yeah. So, but also where when I'm going through with this run, where I'm like, man, there's just not as much stuff, not as much fresh food or resources. So it's really got me checking every house, finding a business. Okay. But another cool mod that I did decide to go with, where I made the decision to get the back, I think it's called School Bag, unlimited carry or something like that. So whatever, it's like 3,000 pounds or something, right? Because it can make a real difference where, I don't know, you need to change a tire or you want to carry a big axe or something. it'll, it deteriorates your health, when you're overweight. So, you obviously, I don't know if if you run slower or whatever, but you can take damage by I think even running through a set of bushes where wait, how did I cut my neck or something? Like, I guess from running through the bushes like that when I was heavy, I have no idea. Um, but so far so good where I was already able to, find bandages and alcohol wipes and disinfectants where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be on it right away. Um, disinfect the wound, right? Cover it with a bandage. And so far I've only gotten scratches from zombies. I think if you get too many scratches, right? Or cuts or whatever it might be in a short amount of time, it's kind of the end for you. It really is, because even though you're disinfecting it and taking it easy, it's just you're kind of doomed, So you'll find that the day goes on and then you go to sleep, your health just continues to deteriorate. Doesn't tell you, but you're pretty much fucked. You're a dead man walking. But just like all the other, games and game modes in this where if you go back and replay, not so much that game save, but I think you can go back into the game save is what you do, right? But you start as a new character with the map kind of cleared out. And that's the only thing, right? That's the only thing. But I wouldn't recommend doing that, because if really you just want to start a whole new journey altogether. That's I've discovered that where I'm like, okay, I'll just keep going back and just keep uncovering more of the map, but I don't know. I would just keep playing the same map over and over again. Then you'll just know where shit is, right? Where the hospital is, the police department, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I feel like this one's pretty good where I'm just driving around. Like, I've had a taxi for a while, didn't have the best brakes or driver's seat. Now I'm in a van where I'm like, okay, this one's 64%. It had keys. I found keys for it. Boom. You can find those on Dead Zombies or in the cars. So, yeah, I was telling Mayo, what was it, yesterday? I'm like, I'm near the big Ohio and I can't get around to the city that I need to be
Right.
in. Because you'll find these annotated maps. I mean, that's how you pronounce it. Annotated maps.
Yeah, you can keep all them zombies down there in Kentucky in the game.
All right. They're like, yeah, they're south of you, Mayo. You're fine. They can't swim. They just drowned or float in the water. But yeah, so far so good. I'm just gonna keep going, and I never want to. One of the things where I'm like, I don't want to invest too much into the character, read too many skill books or anything like that, because I know once I start doing that, and I say, oh yeah, I really want to work on my mechanics. I think it's called. Is it called mechanics? Basically, it's just like your baseball bat, and I think that's the mechanic is swinging that bat around and bashing zombies over the head. So, because once you really start to do that, and then once you're fucked, Mayo, that's it. Like, that you're kind of done with that character, unless you're using some kind of big cheat mod or something, right?
Right.
Which I'm not. So I'm like, come on, I can do this, So getting better and better each time, pacing myself. Try not to fight too many big hordes, So if anybody else is playing out there, I do recommend that Britta's armor, right? Which I think there's 2 or 3 different ones you have to subscribe to. So it's like the armor, it's the weapons, and there's something else that comes along with it. So you still have to go out and search for all that stuff. So how do you say that weapon? Is it a skith or whatever? Probably one of them farming fucking tools or whatever.
It's a Grim Reaper weapon?
Yeah, it's like a Grim Reaper, but I think it's more of a one-handed scythe. That's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that one, and there's the machete. So that one those do extremely well. And it's pretty easy, even just with your regular baseball bat, which you start off with. You can find some nails, and I think it's duct tape. So yeah, once you get that, you can make your spiked baseball bat. Yeah, getting good, getting better at it. What else besides that? I played a couple weeks ago. What was it called? Did we talk about that Fortune Shadow Torch? That was on Game Pass, or is on Game Pass. So if you look on your console or PC Game Pass, it's FIST with periods after each letter. So this is the side scroller Metroidvania, steampunk, kind of I guess it's more underground than anything. Did you play that, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're playing as the rabbit. You kind of look like an older fucking, I don't know.
I checked this game out for a minute too. I forgot to mention it, but I checked it out for a minute. I tried just to stream it on my TV because I don't have the Xbox here.
Yeah.
And so I just used the cloud, but it looked like I was kind of losing some fidelity and like in the blacks and stuff, so it didn't look as good on the TV. Like because I was playing it off the cloud and Wi-Fi. I'm not like landline hooked up or nothing like that, so it didn't look as good as it possibly could. I just didn't really get into it. I played just a little bit where you start climbing upward. Like it's maybe 15 minutes in the game, maybe.
And I
think it was okay.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing that it's just not throwing too much at you, like, go here, go there, and there's an arrow here, and, a directional thing going that way. I mean, there's nothing, right? So I think in the beginning it's like, okay, you can only go one direction because you can't go left anymore. So once you start going one direction, you might run into a NPC where they're like, yeah, like, you got to find the drill, and, you got to, I don't know, he's just rambling off about finding a drill. You're like, oh, okay, sure. And you fight a few enemies. I'm playing it on easy, so I'm like, because otherwise, any of these Metroid type video games, I'm gonna quit. So, fought a few bosses, and they were, I don't know, I guess they were easy, but it felt a little like after you played Dead Cells, right? It's like man, it feels a little slow, like trying to jump up to hit like these turrets on a fucking spinning wheel where it's like, man, not as fast as what I'd like it to be, but it was easy to kind of get through. So, and then you'll run into like these doors and it'll be like, hey, you got to use this ability on the door. I'm like, wait, do I need the drill? And I think this is where I don't know if I need to start over or just watch a YouTube video where I'm like, okay, I guess I just need to go the other direction because you will run into these like machines that upgrade.
Try going to the other direction and seeing if you can upgrade to get the power that you need to open that door.
And I think it does.
You can't keep going in that direction because you'll probably find something that'll give you the stuff that you need to get in.
Yeah, like it'll say like, okay, you got the double jump now, right? So obviously you can jump up to the other platform, or now you can kind of get up that pipe and get around. So it is a little more. That's where the Metroidvania, right? It's more. Yeah. More exploration of like, okay,
the more stuff you unlock, the more places you can go, the more stuff you're gonna find to unlock new stuff and blah 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 blah.
I'm gonna keep it installed. I'm gonna keep it going, see how far I can get.
Yeah, but you know what? I forgot about that game. I started playing and I was like, this is kind of cool, and I don't know, I just never started playing other things and never went back to it.
Yeah, because I feel like those combos are pretty simple. Where X and B, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to hold the X button down. Like, it's simple. It doesn't feel like it's like a fighter, right? X X X B Y R RB RB. It's like nothing like it's not a brawler. So yeah. The other game, what did I buy? Ryan, Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah.
So I always wanted this game. It came out last holiday, and I know you were talking about it like in others where they say, oh, it's a dating simulator and a turn-based strategy. I kind of like to look at it where, like, okay, there's the castle, with the Marvel characters. It's more like the base, right? And I guess your character is, I don't know if he's new or whatever. What's he called? The Hunter, right? Where you're like revived from the fucking dead, right? And but you're just getting to know the other characters, Iron Man and gosh, not Thor. I don't know. It just
Gunny, stop. Hang on a second, guys. Yep. Did you not hear those perfectly timed crows?
Oh, you guys heard those?
It was like it was at the perfect time too.
There's two of them out there right now behind me. Yeah.
Anyways, go on, Gunny. Sorry,
it's too damn hot here. I got to keep the windows open. But so when you're in that castle, like it's a kind of an open world section where it's not where you do the missions, but you can kind of run around the castle and collect little things, talk to some NPCs. talk to the other Marvel characters, and then there's like that kind of the table, right, of where, like in the other Marvel game, where you're just like, okay, time to start the mission. And I do like those where, again, it's turn based.
It's like XCOM, right? But you have
It's like
cards?
that, right? You're in that, like, yeah, but you might be on top, like everything's so far. You're like on top of a building. Like, okay, this is where everything's kind of taking place. So yeah, that's where the XCOM part comes in. And I feel like those are pretty cool, right? Because you got Spider-Man who comes in there eventually. I don't think I've met him yet. Even though like, hey, he's on Xbox, that's cool. So the one thing I would say I don't like about that is where, and I couldn't figure it out at first, but let's say that one of the characters goes down, and it could be Iron Man or whatever. So you have to like, and it's a deck building game, right? So right, you're just kind of given a deck of cards. I think you can always go and upgrade those eventually. You can trade them out and shit like that, where you have to use one of those cards, whether it's an action-based thing, like on the other character, which I just think is like the weirdest thing, where you can't just walk over like XCOM and just, revive them or something. Because at first I was like, what the fuck? Do I actually have to like, it's like I'd be doing damage on my character if I did that, right? Like if I'm throwing a grenade or some kind of power beam or something. And I thought, okay, that was a misstep, I think, on their part. So, but other than that, like, I don't know if there was like a, like an easy mode or whatever. I probably chose it. So, because so far I think I've only lost like one battle, and I just had to go back in and kind of redo it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll just try something a little bit different, and was able to get through it. So, yeah, but so far, yeah, I do like that. But going back to the castle part of it, I kind of look at it like, oh, hey, it's not a dating sim, but I feel like you're just getting to know their backstory for each character. If you're really into the Marvel universe of things, but
yeah, you're trying to find out if you want to date him or not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Maybe the women. I don't know.
I mean,
if
really,
that way.
Gunny,
like,
if you're into Marvel, you probably know their backstory. It's probably all
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that Marvel guy or whatever, you're probably going, I already know what's going on, unless you have some obscure character, But
yeah,
I don't know. I see this game on sale like all the time. Like it's always on sale. I feel like.
But
because
it's like a decent
game, but
yeah, because I feel like Mayo, if they did that, let's say they took that part out of it, right? Where get to know the other characters or the dating sims of it. Where I feel like, okay, this game would not be worth $60 or whatever they were charging for back then. Or it might have been a $40 game. Maybe they were looking at that.
If they just made it from like just a straight up version of XCOM, but Marvel,
I think they could have
more interested.
Yeah, and then I would say like, okay, then could it just been mobile, right? You know what I mean? Could just been well, not I don't know. It looks a lot better than a mobile game. So, and there are mobile games out there that you can probably play XCOM style that are out there. There's a million of them. So, I feel like they just kind of did a little bit of everything, for this game. So, yep. But that's that, and that's all I play, guys. Mostly.
Hey, Jesus. Guess what time it is?
It's news time. I'm here. I've just been quiet the whole time, listening to Gunny. But it's news time, Gunny. Gunny, guess what happened last week, Gunny? The other week.
What happened?
Guess what happened?
A lot of shit happened.
Microsoft. What happened? Microsoft pretty much paid off a judge.
Oh God.
Okay, they bribed a judge.
If anyone paid off anybody, Jim Ryan tried to pay off the fucking CMA and the FTC.
No, pretty much Microsoft's trial thing went through to the judge or whatever, with the FTC trying to block them from purchasing Activision Blizzard King. So anyways, the judge approved it. She said she didn't see any reason why it would be detrimental to have them purchase that company, that it doesn't affect gamers worldwide, really. And in fact, would actually keep the games in multi-platforms and
it would put them on more platforms than it would.
It wouldn't be detrimental. And it wouldn't be detrimental to the thing happening. So the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard is not expected to close this week after the UK paused the CMA fucking appeal thing or whatever. So Microsoft is slowly moving forward with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Microsoft made an offer for Activision Blizzard back in January of 2022, a little over a year ago, for a total of $68.7 billion. This is the biggest purchase of its kind. Despite the FTC ruling, there are many more legal hurdles for Microsoft to overcome, including one in the UK. For the people in the UK, sucks for you, but I think this is going to go through without you guys. A UK judge has paused the appeal process between Microsoft and the CMA, the Competition Markets Authority. That's expected to last for about 2 months. Further negotiations will take place during this time frame, which pushes things further back than July 28th, the day the trial was expected to begin. According to legal filings, the CMA is open to renegotiating its terms regarding the Activision Blizzard deal, which it initially saw as problematic due to the potential cloud gaming monopolization in Microsoft's favor. The legal case was caused by the CMA, which blocked the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard, a decision that has since been appealed by Xbox's parent company, Microsoft. Microsoft had an expected merger deadline of July 18th, which means that the acquisition may be going at a slower pace than the company originally anticipated. Because of this deadline and the ongoing negotiations, Microsoft may call for an extension to the acquisition so that it may continue to overcome these legal hurdles. Though the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal may be moving forward now, there is currently no conclusive end in sight for the legalities behind the scenes. But with that being said, Gunny, Sony has now agreed to a 10-year deal. Okay, Mayo. Hey, guess what, Mayo? They said yes, Mayo.
Yeah.
They said okay.
All they
guys.
got was just Call of Duty, not Activision, just Call of Duty.
Okay, guys.
10 years.
Sony has agreed to a 10-year deal for Call of Duty with Microsoft to keep the franchise on PlayStation after this proposed Activision Blizzard acquisition. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer says Sony and Microsoft have agreed to a binding agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. This ends a bitter battle between the companies that has been waged both privately and publicly over the past year after Microsoft announced its proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard in January of last year. So, according to this, while Microsoft's initial announcements doesn't mention 10 years for Call of Duty on PlayStation, Carrie Perez, head of global communications at Xbox, confirmed that this is in fact a 10-year commitment. The deal is only for Call of Duty, though. So, this makes it a similar deal to a 10-year agreement between Microsoft and Nintendo, but not the various deals Microsoft has struck with Nvidia and other cloud gaming platforms to bring Call of Duty and other Xbox Activision games to the rival services. Microsoft's original deal offered to Sony in January 2022 included keeping all existing Activision console titles on Sony, including future versions of Call of Duty, or any other current Activision franchise on Sony through December 31st of 2027. The deal terms have clearly changed since that opening offer, with an extension to 10 years, but only limited to Call of Duty. Sony had resisted signing this deal with Microsoft after the company first offered their 10-year contract in December of 2022. But this pretty much just went through. So I mean, they could have got all the games from Activision. Instead, they're already getting Call of Duty. But I mean, in reality, does it really matter?
I don't know. I mean, I guess a new deal can be struck. A new deal could be struck at any time for future titles, right? Like tomorrow, next year, 2 years.
At the end of the day, if you look at Microsoft, they're not in it to make a console. They're in it to have a platform of games. making money for them.
You were right,
For
Ryan. You
sure.
were right. You were right.
And they could easily say, you know what, like, okay, we'll allow it on your platform. Just let Game Pass be on your shit.
Well, look at what
Sony
they
might
just
say
allowed
yes.
on their platform. That retro streaming, it's another game streaming service.
Yeah.
What's it called? Ant something?
Oh, the one I just put up in the chat. I just saw that today.
Arcade.
As we were starting the podcast, I just saw that.
Yeah. And you
Ant
can
Stream.
Ant Stream. And it streams arcade games.
Yeah.
It's another streaming platform on their service. So they're not afraid to like bring things in, I don't think. You know, it's just it's somebody else. I won't mention them, but they seem to like ponies a lot. That doesn't want to, you know, they want to keep things the same. You want to keep things the same? Okay, don't evolve and see what happens. And that's kind of what's happening to them right now. That's my opinion.
I think they learned a lesson from all this. I think they know they're gonna have to adapt eventually, and I think they will. I think both companies are gonna try to work.
This was a desperate attempt for them to try and hang on to it for as much longer as they possibly could.
Which was normal. Any other company would have done it. If it was against Nintendo, trust me, Nintendo had a
roles reversed or whatever.
Yeah, if it was Microsoft and Sony's shoes.
I don't think if it was Sony or Nintendo that was buying this, that anyone would have bat an eye at it. It's because it's Microsoft. Don't even second guess yourself about that. That's like
I don't think
maybe.
so.
I mean,
but then again, you look at it. Microsoft's probably one of the only companies that could do it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's huge. It's a huge acquisition. I mean,
absolutely.
This pretty much. This is a crazy turn. If you think about this acquisition alone, right? This acquisition alone, right, shows that Microsoft is now all in on gaming. Because they had two options back in 2019, right? Right before the Xbox Series X was coming out. They had two options. They had an option of, A, we're going to launch this console, right? We're going to launch the new console. This thing might not do very good. We're losing right now. Do we double down and say fuck it and just try to grind it out for this one last push?
They looked at it like we can make enough money in the future,
or we could just double down or go to option B and say we're all in on gaming and spend a lot of fucking money and hope it pays off in the end.
Yeah.
And they went with the option B, and I think it's working for them. Now, the truth of the matter is it going to work for them in the future? Who knows?
Who knows?
You never know, right? I mean, maybe Amazon will come in and buy Sony's PlayStation or something, or maybe Sony and Amazon will team up, or maybe Nintendo and Amazon will team up, or maybe Nintendo and Google will team up. Like, you never know. These things happen, right? These companies could team up with any other company, and like I even said, what if Nintendo and Sony decide to team up? Like, these companies could look at each other and be like, you know what? Xbox is now one of the big players. We need to team up against these guys. And they might, and this might happen. So you never know, like, the future of gaming and how this is all going to play out in 20 years from now. But right now, this is the state the things are in. And I think Microsoft said, you know what? We're going to try to go all in. And this is them going all in, man. Spending nearly fucking $70 billion on a gaming fucking studio and their fucking studios and their platforms and their IPs and WoW and Blizzard.
It's mainly just their IPs because you're not really going to get the developers or whatever. You know, the people making the games come and go all the time. So you're paying for the IP.
You're paying for that Call of Duty name. You're paying for Diablo, for World of Warcraft. You're paying for King. You're paying for all that shit, right? The big money makers, and they went for a big one. And you know what? This won't be the last one.
No.
I guarantee 2 years from now, we'll see Sony trying to buy Ubisoft or Microsoft trying to buy Ubisoft or one of the two.
I think Microsoft's gonna go for either Sega or Capcom.
Yeah, I think Sega's probably next, in all honesty. You hear a lot of rumors of it already.
And I think that's not going to be the end either.
You might
And
see
that's
Square
where-
Enix, right, get bought out by one of them. Embracer Group is going to be in there buying shit. So these companies are still going to get bought up.
Yeah.
This won't be the last of these companies getting bought up.
Can you imagine if Microsoft bought like Embracer or
That would be
Devolver?
huge.
Yeah,
or something
Embracer
like
would be
that?
big. Yep.
Like, holy shit, dude. That
The
would be too
problem with
much.
Embracer,
You know what I mean?
The problem
feel
with
like
Embracer
It
is
wouldn't
that
sell, but yeah.
they're an investment company, just like
Well, they're in a lot of trouble right now.
Like 2 cent, right? 10 cent.
Yeah,
No, 10 cent is a different story.
Yeah, they're like
they're
the
their own
new
thing.
Microsoft,
Yeah.
but they're not in any trouble.
They could compete.
I'm
with
just saying they're investment. Yeah, company.
Yeah, they're huge, right? They buy all these little companies and they make money, and that's what they're doing, right? So, like, we're gonna see this happen, and then I could see with Ubisoft being next. EA, I don't know. EA seems to be in a good spot, in my opinion. They always seem to be like,
Yeah, EA's good
those-
where they are.
those motherfuckers, despite how much shit they put out, they know how to make money because they have the IPs to make the money. They can make the mistakes. You know why? Because they got a fucking Madden and a fucking FIFA and a fucking NBA game and a fucking college game and all that shit every year that makes them money.
The sports titles
Star Wars games.
is what
Yeah.
funds that company.
That company can make mistakes like they've made in the past, and we've seen them make mistakes time after time. Right? We've seen him make it with Battlefield. We've seen him
Which
make
is
it
the
with
same
Star Wars.
situation that Xbox is in. You know
Yeah,
what
they
I
don't
mean?
can afford to make the mistakes. We've seen Xbox do it. You can't say Xbox is perfect. They fucked up in the past.
No, they
They've
fucked
done
up a lot.
dumb shit. Yeah, but hey, these companies can afford to make these mistakes and these acquisitions, and they will. And I'm excited to see what happens in the future. Right? I'm excited to see what Microsoft has to do with the future of Xbox and the future of gaming in general is going to be good. This brings more competition out. I said this might make Sony create a better shooter than Call of Duty, right?
That's right.
You never
Possibly.
know,
And
right?
that's the
It could
point.
make them.
And that's the point of all this is like the push things forward. Don't hold them back. And Sony has been holding things back for a long time because it's their comfortable spot. You know what I mean? They're in their spot. They're number one. They're the top dog. They,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
and I don't know if
comfort
it's
zone.
they're comfortable too. I feel like it's like a Japanese culture kind of
It
thing.
is.
Nintendo, they don't
Nintendo's the
care.
same way. Yeah.
They would do
But
whatever
Nintendo-
Nintendo wants to do. And I feel like
Nintendo
Sony's
just
the
goes
same
on their
way.
on their own little path, and they always, well, they don't always, but most of the time they have their own little
Yeah,
bit.
like they don't really
You know?
bend ever. They don't ever
No.
like. They just that's their way of doing things. That's like their philosophy. And
They want to be cheap and affordable,
look at
so
us
that
how
it gets
much
them in
we.
more hands, and they want it to be fun and inventive.
You
That's
can be like,
Nintendo.
oh, Nintendo
you know
just
what I
seems
mean?
so quiet. You don't see much from Nintendo, but then they turn around and do something, and they're just always relevant. They just never go away, and they're always there. But they're never like in the news. You know what I mean? Like, when's the last time we talked about a big Nintendo game besides the new Zelda? And we didn't really talk about that much, on the show.
Well, they have like one or two of those games a year,
and that's all they need.
Like,
And they're good at that. You know what I mean? And like they just manage and they just make so much money off the way they do things and just kind of a different approach on things.
And you got to always remember how much of Nintendo is a kid market. I mean, like as much as like that, it's perfect for kids. It's cheap. It's small. You know what I mean?
Safe.
It's safe.
It's safe. For
And
kids.
they just know they know what they are. You know what I mean? Like they play into it and they know what they are. And
it's rare when you see Nintendo like market like mature games. It's really rare. It happens, but it's rare.
Yeah, very rare.
And that's and I think that's part of their stance. They're going to be how they want to be, and they're not going to bend, and they make what they want to make, and
Nintendo's never going to come out with the fucking Gears of War. Okay, they're just never going to do something.
And if they do, it'd be really shocking.
No, because if it's Nintendo, it's more cutesy, more cartoony, more
probably
fun.
What the craziest thing I've probably seen on Nintendo was probably
Mushrooms
be like
of War. Yeah,
Resident Evil, maybe.
Resident Evil, yeah.
It's probably about their most like, oh my god,
but you got to stream it. Yeah.
Oh wow, this is hardcore shit. This is adult games.
And even in like the 3DS age, they did like specific games for 3DS that were Resident Evil. I can't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's the one thing I'm wondering, right? The future of gaming, how is it all going to play out? And if say Microsoft, because Microsoft, in my opinion, does have a lead in the cloud gaming space. They do. They have a great lead. They have a good tech. Now this makes me wonder, right? Like in the future, could we see a potential merger between Nintendo and Sony? Could they just say, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. We're both Japanese companies. In the beginning, we were going to be together. Let's just fucking make it happen. Let's just say, fuck it. We're bringing the companies together. That would be fucking huge. Imagine how big that would be. That would lock up the entire Asian market, dude. The entire Asian market would lock up so fast.
I don't know, man.
Like, and follow suit with them.
I'm not saying that wouldn't happen. I'm just saying like that. I think that would make things worse because that just shrinks the
less competition in Japan. Yeah,
you know, I kind of wish
they're better off split off in 3 the way they are. You know what I mean? Like,
I kind of wish
they need to push each other, right? Like,
I kind of wish there was another console.
Yeah, I kind of wish Sega was more of a power. Like, because they kind of have America and they were both,
Well, people have tried, man, but
I know.
It's not an easy market to break into, right?
Right.
That's what Stadia was thinking, right? That's what fucking Ouya was thinking. That's what. Oh, we can get into this market. It doesn't work, man. You need a lot of bank to push that to the masses.
You need exclusive games, right?
But like, okay,
keep people on your platform, your ecosystem.
Okay, but think China, think Tencent. What if Tencent was to buy? What if Tencent was to buy Sega and say, you know what, guys, we're making a new Dreamcast. We'll call it the Dreamcast 2.
Yeah. Don't say things like that. Don't say things like
Tencent has the money to pay for exclusives.
Do that.
They could pay. They would even pay Microsoft for an exclusive. They'd be like, "Hey, we want Bethesda to make us an exclusive for this shit." And Microsoft might be like, "Well, fuck, how much money you're offering?" Like, "Oh, we'll offer you $1 million. What do you want? Anything you want, we'll give it to you right now. How much? Here, Phil, we're gonna give you a blank check. Write as many zeros as you want after this one. Go ahead."
Yeah,
it's like. There could be competition out there because and the one thing that I always wonder, Mayo, is like Steam, right? Steam is the big one on the PC, but to me, it seems like they want to break into the console. They know they can do it, right? They've tried it with the Steam Deck. They've tried it with the Steam machines.
Steam machines, right? Is that what they were called?
If Steam was to come out next year and say, "Hey, look, we know you like the Steam Deck. We made you the Steam Box. This is the fucking Steam Box. This is our thing. We're making it for you." You think people would buy into that?
I think if they could make it like price and run like a console and price like a console.
Say $600.
I think that they would.
It would have to be 500
the R&D into making a more powerful Steam Deck.
Yeah, and they like that power.
Being like you can dock it, and now it's like when you dock it, now you're getting way more power when you dock it.
But we've known that we've seen Steam dabble in this shit before, where they're like, "Oh, we're making the Steam Link. Oh, we're making this little."
If I was
controller.
If I was in Steam or running Steam or like anything like that, and we would think about doing anything like that, I think the first thing I would probably do before it even release anything like that is start making version 3s of any of my games, Half-Life 3,
and just make it exclusive,
and make them exclusive to your console, and then get those to come out. And then, maybe, obviously have a PC version, but have a console version of those games exclusive. And you may be able to get some sales that way. The problem is, it's like, if you're going to make it on the PC, most people are still going to
buy it on the PC.
But if you had it on both, which would be kind of nice. So that's where, like Ryan says, the console version or the portable version is nice because you can't, you made a console is almost kind of competing with its PC self. In a way,
that's in the Steam Deck.
But if you own your Steam library and you had a portable one,
it doesn't do anything for it other than
you could go both ways.
What if the next year's they release the new Steam Deck next year? What if the new Steam dock for the Steam Deck 2?
Say it was like a Switch,
gives it more power, like a Switch.
Yeah, if it was more powerful than a Switch, and like say like a really nice, even like the ROG.
You can stick it into a dock and now you play it on your TV, Mail.
If they made it more mainstream like a Switch, I feel like some people would pick it up still, but I just don't think it competes with its PC self so much.
Yeah.
less people
Maybe-
buy it.
Maybe
There has
like
to be a
cloud
company
gaming.
that could break into this, Mayo and
It would
Or
be
Gunny.
the
cloud
price
gaming
point.
for
The price
Steam, I
point would
think.
have to be
What do you
good. It has
mean?
to be a
There's
good
tons
introduction
of
price
them.
to get people in there.
There's the G Cloud. There's the ROG Ally. There's the Steam Deck. There's
I'm talking like a
PlayStation's
fucking
trying to
But
get
another
none of them really ever
console.
grab either. You know, they're not mainstream like
Yeah,
the Switch.
everyone they have like a niche market. They just need one that can do it all. It's like a console. It's just like another console, but
That's what I
another
thought about when the ROG Ally came out. I'm like, it's just another handheld coming out
Yeah, it's
in a
it.
market that feels like, you know, like you had a couple of them now that have come out. And it's just like, okay, you know, like they've
Another
been trying to
one.
dabble with
Whoa.
this for a while, and they just have not brought enough people in. I don't feel like
Yeah.
you heard about the, you know, the Ally or something. But when's the last time you heard about the Ally?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the
I
last
on
month.
my YouTube,
Well, I
like
hear about
reviews
it
and
all the
stuff, I'm like,
time.
I
People
want
are
one of
always
those.
talking about it.
But
anyways, like it's I don't know. I lost my train of thought there.
I think a Chinese company like Tencent with enough money can do it.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they could.
Don't
They
tell them
could.
that.
you know what I always thought, Jesus? I brought it up here before.
What?
But who is like one of the richest companies out there? It would be Apple, right? It would be like,
Apple,
here's our
you think
thing.
if
It's an
Apple
iPad,
came out with the console.
right? But it would be an
Yeah,
iPad,
I mean,
basically.
that they could do it.
They could do it
Yeah.
in an iPad, like not
Yeah.
like the iPad that I have, but to say this is
But
a
they'd
fucking
have to-
gaming iPad right here.
They'd have
Yeah,
to not be Apple though. That's the thing. Like
yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like stupid
Too extra.
mobile.
This thing costs $2,000. No one would fucking buy it. But like, if
Yeah.
they said like, this thing costs $700, and it's powerful like a PC, and
Yeah,
it
right.
runs
So it
all
That's
plays your mobile
nonsense. Talk
stuff.
over there, Jesus. That's never gonna
well,
happen.
But it'll also
isn't that what
play-
they're kind of doing now? They're like getting into gaming now.
They are. They've been
'Cause they had-
trying.
Yeah, and they had Kojima at their keynote or whatever,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, Death Stranding's coming to Mac."
Yeah.
So they're like trying to bring game. They're trying to break into that market, and I could see that happening. They would have the
fan
reach,
base.
the fan base,
Yeah.
the reach
Yeah.
to actually break into the market. I think.
Have like some
I
Steam
would
app.
I would hate that, but yeah,
They would.
I think
But
that they would be probably the
I
next.
think more competition is good. But I'm glad Microsoft got this deal to go through. I'm hoping they can close it as quick as possible. Get these games on Game Pass. Get the people playing these games.
Yeah.
It'll be big. It'll be a big move for them, and it'll be good for gamers. You know, in general, I really don't give a fuck if Microsoft got the deal or not. It doesn't affect me in terms of anything besides I can pay for Game Pass and play these games, and that's
We
what I'm
have
looking
we have
forward
access to
to.
pretty much everything, but
how-
it is
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
when you do have access to only
Everything.
one. You know, if you only have one console,
Yeah,
it's a
so
little more
for like
difficult.
for me, for example, right? I was like, oh, what did I just read that Call of Duty, what was it? Not World at War, but Cold War, whatever. No, whatever, the fucking zombies mode. It was like, hey, it's gonna be free and available, right? And it's gonna be separate or something. Like it's gonna be a free to play. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Is that just gonna be on PC? And I'm looking at it. It was like, oh, PlayStation Plus. Well, I have a PlayStation. Like, I guess I'm okay. If I really wanted to, I would just go pay the the $10 a month. I can get because that's really what I wanted to do is just play the zombies modes, especially in the latest Call of Duties with besides Modern Warfare, right? Some of those campaigns haven't been that great in my opinion, or I haven't had any desire to really play them. So, yeah.
So if you let's talk hypothetical. What games do you guys expect from the Activision catalog to come to Game Pass?
Diablo,
You
of course.
You
Call
think
of
Yeah,
right
Call
away?
of Duty, Diablo.
What else is Activision own? Don't they own like the Crash series and shit?
Mhm. Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
I expect some of those to come on there.
But do you expect them? Do you think that they're just going to dump like 50 games on
I
the
think
Game
so.
Pass?
Didn't they
Oh,
do
yeah.
that like Bethesda? They just dumped
Yeah.
all their games on there at once.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna be like, hey, look, next week on Thursday or whatever, whenever the deal goes through, right? They're gonna be like, hey, look, and on this day at this time, we're gonna update Game Pass. You can log into it, and these titles will be available, and they'll have a
Think-
list, and there'll be
Yeah,
all
I
these
think they're
fucking
gonna-
all these old Call of Duties and shit on there, Medal of Honor, whatever the fuck Activision owns, and yeah,
I think
No.
still the most intriguing question to me is like, what's going to happen with WoW? Like how is all that going to come into play?
Yeah.
I think they're going to use Game Pass and on the PC and say, if you subscribe to our Game Pass,
if you have Ultimate, right, then you can just log in with your Microsoft email.
You can log in and tie it, and it's tied, and your subscription is paid for.
That's just hard because they're already getting this $15 a month, right? Because when you subscribe to WoW, it's
17 now.
It's
$17. It went up $2. They got to pay for this acquisition, bro.
No, I'm talking about the WoW's monthly fee because
they're
WoW subscription. So I think it's 15. So they get these people paying $15 a month already, right? And they're picking up all these people paying $15 a month. If they add it to just PC Game Pass, that's what, $5 a month or 10? Maybe just basically
PC it would have to be Ultimate. It would have to be a part of Ultimate, I would assume.
Yeah, so then it'd be
if there was anything to do with a WoW subscription, it would be Ultimate.
That's what I'm saying. Like they can't just do a PC version because
people will just go to get Game Pass Ultimate and then drop their subscriptions to WoW, and then
so they got to at least not cut their own throat in that aspect, and cut the income they get coming in.
Hey, but think about it the other way around. What are you trying to promote, WoW or Game Pass? I think you want more people in Game Pass than you do in WoW. So that might technically pull a lot of people from WoW into Game Pass and boost Game Pass numbers.
Right, and it might.
I mean, remember, not a bad idea, but I don't know if they'll do that.
Remember with Minecraft where
cannibalize a game to do it, right?
I think it took like over a year. I had to go to Mojang.com to buy Minecraft for the PC because I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. I was like, fuck. I was like, I guess I'll just play it on my Xbox One. I'll just continue. And then eventually they finally posted it. They were like, okay, now like you can. No, it was more than that. It was well over 2 years later that they finally brought it to PC Game Pass. Like, you still go through kind of the Mojang launcher, but you can do it for the PC game side.
Yeah.
That took a couple years. That was just kind of
muddy because it
even
was
after the merger.
Yeah, because you had two different versions for so long. You had like a console version and a PC version.
Minecraft is kind of a different beast.
They had to take a while to get them to kind of be one unit, and they had to decide how they were going to do it. Did they want to like get rid of like the Java edition and go with like the console version,
Bedrock, Java, Bedrock,
or go Bedrock edition? And so that was probably in a spot like you have these people that want to play the Java edition because you can mod a little more and you can do a little more things, and then you have people that's how they started. Then when you try to like tell people they have to go to the Bedrock edition, they're just kind of like, well, what if I don't want to? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I was. I had the Java edition, and I was like, I really don't want to migrate to the Bedrock edition, but
I think they did something cool, right?
Now
with that. I feel like they did something cool where I think that didn't they do something where I know that if I had the Win 10 version, right, which would be Bedrock, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the Bedrock version.
Bedrock. So then, but Kyle, if he had Java, I can join his game, or he can join with like some other things. I just couldn't create things. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I believe it happened that way, where I thought, okay, that I can see why that took a year to do that part of it. Where I thought that's cool. Like it didn't have to have like all the same shit, right? So, yeah, and then eventually, now look where we're at 2 years later. But yeah, I'm kind of like, damn, why did I pay the $26 for that? But I feel like I didn't get enough good time in there before it became part of my subscription. But yeah.
You guys think that they're just going to dump a whole load of games in one shot?
I think so. They did it with Bethesda, so
I don't. I think they're gonna dribble it out. I think they're gonna slowly put stuff out. You'll see like a bunch of Call of Duties come out when it first goes through, and then you'll see maybe Diablo in like January-ish, February-ish.
I can see Diablo waiting just because it's so popular. Yeah, they want people to buy it yet.
I see them maybe doing dumps of like Crash and stuff like that in between, and then like Prototype and stuff like that, just to pad things out to keep people coming to Game Pass, give people a reason to join again.
We need a Prototype 3.
Back. Are we getting Candy Crush on the Xbox?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. I hope not.
I mean,
actually,
don't we have like we've had other popular mobile games?
No, Mayo, but you know what you're going to get? Candy Crush. There's going to be like get your benefits now. What is it called? Right on your part of your
link. Yeah.
Link
to the Xbox Game Pass.
Like get the game. There'll be achievements in Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Can see that. So, but now that this, well, not Sony signing the 10-year deal, but now that the CMA has been pushed a couple months, and I know that tomorrow is the deadline for that Microsoft have to pay that $3 billion. Do they still have to do that, or did that get pushed? I wonder.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. The cat didn't the cat basically come out to the CMA and say like, "You guys are so stupid. What are you doing?"
But I think the deal can still go
and
through.
It went through,
right?
And now
in America,
and now in the U.S. they can close. I think
they can close, right? So from what I understand, the FTC, right? They lost the case.
It was as of Friday at midnight or something like that. As of Friday at midnight, it was pretty much a done deal in the U.S.
So then I think the actual trial
in the U.K. told the CMA that they were a bunch of idiots, and that's pretty much getting thrown out too, as far as I know. So
but isn't also the actual FTC trial here in America like sometime in August where it?
Yeah, there is some more stuff going on in August. I can't remember what it was.
But the deal can close, as far as I understand. The deal can close, but then the official, FTC versus Microsoft starts in August. I don't know what that entails, but yeah, this was just the injunction that they lost. Okay.
Yeah, they're not allowed to stop the deal from going through.
Got it.
But they can continue to fight it even after the deal goes through. Thing is it's a lot harder to change it once the transition happens.
Yeah.
So it's like it's harder to convince a judge to like go against it, especially if the company is doing what they said they were going to do in the first place, which I don't see Microsoft like as much as the ponies want to say that they're going to turn their backs on everybody and it's all their big evil company. I don't see that happening because you know what I mean. Like they're just not going to make like they want to make money.
Yeah.
How are they going to make money? Putting it everywhere. That's been Phil's thing all along. He wants it to be. If he could put Game Pass on PlayStation, he would. In a second, he would do it.
Yeah.
But they don't. They won't do it. They don't want it. You know. I hope that in the future.
But the thing that gets me about the ponies is how they say Game Pass
for gaming
is bad.
Is it doesn't matter what fucking platform you play on. You can play anything anyway. No exclusivity. No, you want to play God of War, you play it on whatever platform you want to. But when you buy that game, that goes back to Sony because they made that game.
Yeah, I just don't see how
it shouldn't matter where you play it, as long as the more people that can play these games, the easier it's going to be for these companies to make more games because they'll be able to bring in the money, right? To fund the next game, and keep it going, and keep that trial going. So why not open platforms and say fuck all this console war bullshit and enjoy your game on whatever goddamn platform you enjoy playing it on because you like the way that platform does their things. Like that's why I can never go to PlayStation. It's like I like the format of Xbox. I've lived with it for so long that I'm just fucking it's embedded in. You know what I mean? Like I know how to navigate the dashboard and find what I need to find. And like when I go to PlayStation, I turn on PlayStation, I'm like, what the? Where's this? Where's the settings? But I'm sure if I played on PlayStation all the time, that I would be exactly the same way I am with my Xbox, just because I know it like that. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, I just wanted to say
that's what I hope in the future, man. That it doesn't matter what fucking piece of plastic you play it on, whether it be a PC or anything. It doesn't matter. You just fucking play your game.
Yeah, one thing I just haven't said anything before on the whole Game Pass thing, right? Where, you had Jim Ryan, I don't know, whatever he was making comments, Bobby Kotick, right? Saying how he's like, I don't give a fuck and Game Pass is stupid and I wouldn't do it, right? Not so much a defense of so much for Microsoft, but I don't, again, I'm not an expert. I'm not going to sit here and say,
Game Pass you got to remember something about Bobby Kotick, though. Bobby Kotick is only thinking about money, and Game Pass doesn't make him money immediately, whereas he wants immediate money. Like, for instance, let's go back. I think you guys had this article, but if not, it's been in the news anyways. But fucking CEO of Nintendo makes like 2.5 million a year. The vice president is like 2. Bobby Kotick makes $150 million a year and then lays thousands of people off. Think about that, right? Think about how fucking insane that is, that he makes that much money, but he can't pay his employees. Whereas another company who in the past has done things like, oh, we're in some rough times, I'm going to take a 50% cut on my annual salary so that I can keep my employees working for me. Nintendo did that. You know what I mean? Like, there's shitty companies out there, man, and there's decent companies out there.
Yeah. Microsoft did some layoffs. I don't know how many people. I don't have a numbers or spreadsheet in front of me, but
is it companies or owners?
Everybody's
it's owners
more
than
layoffs, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get that, but it's like when your CEO is making $150 million in a year, and he's laying off people that he could easily pay their salary and not have a fucking dent taken out of his. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. That's
but going back
sickening to me.
But just to kind of finish,
be that greedy to make that much fucking money in a year and just be like, oh, whatever, just let it rain on me. He's like fucking Scrooge McDuck, that little motherfucker. I hate him.
Right. So
I can't wait until he's gone.
He's gonna be fired day one. Bye. Because that was on the like he said the courtroom. He's like, because the judge asked him, like, he goes, then why are you fucking here talking about, Microsoft and Game Pass with that? Because he's like, because the shareholders agreed to it. It's not on me, buddy.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I wouldn't be selling this company.
He'll get his golden parachute and he'll be fine. Nothing's gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, just my quick thoughts again on the whole Game Pass with like again
news,
arguments from other people.
There is definitely more news.
I just feel like, every time whenever I'm seeing like, hey, what's coming next for Game Pass, whether it's great or boring or stupid or whatever, I just feel like these companies, right? A lot of these indies, like Jesus would call them, these B tier, D tiered companies, they would not fucking keep going on Game Pass, right? If it wasn't somehow beneficial, right? That Microsoft keeps paying these people. So, and I get it, like maybe, okay, in the future, when all the Call of Duties come on there and and the day and date Call of Duty, that might get buried, right? We'll see then. Well, I think it's more of a wait and see to see what happens with, like I said, indie companies that are like, fuck, do I really want to put my shit on Game Pass when the new Call of Duty's out? Like, I don't know. We'll find out a couple years from now. So maybe it's not going to work, and I can, then my attitude will change on that and say, man, I'm not the Call of Duty player, but, where's all my indie titles? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think that...
Me as the consumer, that's what makes the difference.
I think the indies will always be there, Gunny. Don't worry about that.
They keep adding them like crazy. They keep adding... So, we'll see how Microsoft handles this, right?
Game Pass is amazing for an indie developer because it gives them a humongous chunk of money to influx their development while they're in development instead of having to wait until after development for a big payout.
I do like that. I do like these early access titles. Yeah.
For indies, it makes total sense to go to Game Pass. Where it doesn't make as much sense is the AAA games. The AAA games could easily, if they have a big enough audience, make enough money to not have to worry about that. But I'm sure Microsoft compensates for that when they purchase a game for Game Pass that's AAA like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they pay a lot more than they do to an indie dev, right?
Right.
Because they know the profit of that game is much higher. So they have to pay a higher amount. It's not like it's a set fee to get into Game Pass.
Yeah, they don't have that publisher money, that's for sure. So that, hey, right, and it benefits us, right? Benefits me. Like, I get to play it, and that's cool, man. I didn't pay $1 for this, but yeah, here I am talking about it on the show. Maybe somebody will buy it on Steam. There's the benefit, right? Others will buy it on Steam machines.
And if a game's available on Game Pass and is still available on other platforms, it's only beneficial to other platforms because word of mouth gets out that a game's good, and then people want to play it and they search for it on their platform and they find it and they buy it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't cannibalize games at all, and all it does is prolong multiplayer games because more people will be able to be playing. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully it'll make servers stay open longer because more people will be likely to play these games, you know, if they like them that much. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah. In other news, so the Microsoft thing, whatever, there was an extension. This is showing that if the deal doesn't close tomorrow, Microsoft is required to pay $3 billion to Activision. If Activision does not agree to an extension of a couple months for the CMA or whatever. So this might be the two things might go here. So one is Activision says we want way more money for you to pay us to extend it or whatever, right? Or Microsoft might say, fuck you, we're not paying you that much money, we'll just pay you what we agreed to, and they'll pay what they agreed to, and they'll close tomorrow morning because they'll just do it in the US and say fuck you to the UK, and they'll just fight it out with the CMA.
They've already said that they are willing to negotiate with the CMA over things, and there's also talk of apparently Microsoft selling the streaming rights to Call of Duty to some other company in the UK, so they wouldn't handle streaming in the UK, someone else would.
So, but okay, I heard that same thing, Ryan. Would it be for just Call of Duty streaming or streaming altogether? I think that's...
Don't know. I don't know if that would be for just Call of Duty streaming or if that would be for just like Game Pass in general.
Yeah, they're
I'm not sure
gaming
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that being said, today in the morning, Activision stock, Gunny, if you were an Activision stockholder, you will have noticed that it is no longer listed on any markets around the world, including the NASDAQ and all that shit around the world, in Europe and China. It got delisted on all the stock exchanges. This is because the deal is set to close tomorrow. So yeah.
Man, talk about down to the wire, huh? I just talked about tomorrow's like the $3 billion day.
If you were a stock purchaser of Activision, you're pretty happy because the stock closed at a pretty high price. It closed at $93 today.
Damn, yeah,
which
pretty good.
You know, that's pretty fucking
Microsoft
good.
paid 97. I thought it was I think Microsoft paid $97 a share.
So you still made a lot of money.
Still made
if,
money
if you bought, even if you bought it earlier this year when it was like at $70, you made a good chunk of change there if you bought enough of it. So there's that. We'll find out, I guess, tomorrow morning if they decided to extend it or if they just said fuck it. We own them now. And yeah. In other news, speaking of Xbox, with this news came that Larry Erb, also known as Major Nelson Gunny, has said that he is now leaving Microsoft. Larry Erb has spent many years as one of the most prominent public faces of the brand as director of programming for Xbox Live. He didn't state his reasons for leaving the company, but said he plans to step back and work on his career's next chapter. The move comes as Microsoft is starting to close its $68 billion purchase of Activision. He said, quote, "As I take a moment and I think about all we have done together, I want to thank the millions of gamers around the world who have included me as part of their lives." Larry Erb spent over 2 decades with Microsoft, joining the company as editor-in-chief of MSN Music in 2001. But in 2003, when he joined the Xbox division, he found his identity with the company. His public role was a combination of official employee and superfan. His blog posts, podcasts, interviews, unboxings, and other various updates straddled the line between a marketing executive and a trusted gamer's gamer, helping fans feel like they had one of their own inside at the gaming behemoth. Xbox has used him less as a face of a company in recent years, but from at least the mid-2000s to the mid-2010s, Major Nelson was practically synonymous with the Xbox platform.
Mm-hmm.
He says he got his gamer handle in a public nickname from Larry Hagman's character in the 1960s sitcom I Dream of Jeannie, after his TiVo recommended it. Larry Herb hasn't detailed yet what his next career chapter is. However, he did note that the official Xbox podcast, which he hosted, will take a hiatus this summer and return later in the year with a new format and possibly a new host. So, Major Nelson is gone, man. That's like a huge thing, dude. Like, I think back to the day, right?
But let's be honest, though, Jesus. Let's be honest. It was time. It was time.
Oh, it was. Remember I said, I said it before earlier this year on the show. I said,
yeah,
Major Nelson is old, man. He can't resonate with the young gamers.
That's the thing, right? They need to get someone fresh and new in. And there's a few people I could see coming in, but we'll see what happens.
My guess is they don't need it anymore. They don't need this type of person anymore. They have influencers that they could just pay.
Yeah.
They could just pay an influencer, a streamer.
Yeah, I was gonna say like these streamers anymore, like they're doing that. Like these contracts.
Yeah.
YouTubers, yep.
We'll sign a contract with Ninja. Hey, Ninja, remember that $30 million we paid you?
I think Ninja's kind of washed up anymore. Really, you don't hear much about him at all.
No. Well, I wouldn't care if I was him. I'd be chilling. I wouldn't stream anymore. I would quit.
Yep.
I'd be, guys, I quit. I got my $30 million.
I probably would too. I'd probably burn out as much as you probably had to play one game. I'd probably just like never play Fortnite again in my entire life.
Yeah, I would never. Yeah, I would not even look at Fortnite. I would hate that shit.
Yeah.
All they have to do is pay influencers, right? And that they take Larry Herb's job, right? And they probably would do it for less money than what they paid him.
Well, the thing now is though, you see these influencers making all this money now. Like, we were just talking about how XQC made it $100 million for it to go to Kick.
Yes.
And that's non-exclusive. Like they're getting these big contracts now.
That's crazy as fuck. In other news,
good old Larry. I just remember him back when I got my 360. Right, watching him on
that is
YouTube
sad,
videos,
though, man. I think back to 2006, 2007. That was in my opinion, that was the heyday of Xbox, right? 2007. That's when they had all these huge hitting games.
Yeah. Halo.
They had Gears of War 2, Halo. They had Call of Duty Modern Warfare coming out on it. They had just major ass fucking titles that year. They had Grand Theft Auto 4, or was it Grand Theft Auto 4 that came out that year? So they had all these huge titles that dropped that year. Xbox Live was the place to fucking play games. PlayStation sucked in terms of the online, right? Like it sucked. Yeah, it was free to play on PS3, but the PS3 was like $700. The Xbox was $400. It was like such a better deal, right? Everyone was gaming on the
network wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah, the chat on the PlayStation sucked. On the Xbox, it just worked, like the party chat.
Well, most of the time.
Yeah, it was amazing, right? And
I just got disconnected for no fucking reason.
Every time on the dashboard, you saw Major Nelson with the new video talking about a game, some tips that he had.
There was there's a really good video out there, guys, that I remember. It was a memorable moment with my son on the 360 where, when Kyle was younger, and we had Missplosion Man. And I think if you own and I think that was like a digital game as well, right? It was like what was that called? Like an arcade game.
Yep.
But I think it was also like
it was a Summer of Arcade game, actually.
Summer of Arcade. So he did, and I think you could just find it on the dashboard too, somewhere within the store. There's a video that's included with that game, and I don't think you have to buy it either. You can go watch it, and it's Missplosion Man getting married, and Larry's in that video, and it's like 30 minutes long. It's a good long video of almost like a little mini movie. And I recommend it. It's funny as hell. So I forgot who she was marrying, but I think Larry was the priest.
I remember him doing the unboxing for the Xbox One and showing it off, and showing off what comes with the console, building up the hype. That shit was cool as fuck, man. And he will be missed.
I listened to his podcast for a couple of years, and I haven't listened to it in the last couple of years.
Oh, I haven't listened to it in fucking forever, probably the last 9 years or so. But when I listened to it, it was cool. You know, he talked about Xbox and shit in his life. One thing, you know, I'm gonna miss him, but like Ryan said, it was time. He's old. You know, it's time to get out.
It's
you know, and I'm thinking
time for him.
He did a good job trying to relate for a long time. You know,
and I'm
what I
thinking,
mean? Like,
you know what? I'm thinking a couple years from now, it's gonna be Phil's time.
Yeah,
I say next year or the year after, he's done.
Yeah, I think she's
who do you think follows up?
Sarah Bond looks like she's the one.
Who else? What about that Booty guy, the Matt Booty?
No,
Matt Booty will stay in his place.
Yeah.
He runs all the game studios, right? He's the one
Mhm.
that's the boss of the game studios. So he'll stay where he's at. I think she's gonna take place. I think that Sarah Bond won't be as relatable as Phil is, because Phil seems like a down to earth dude. You know what I mean? Like a chill man.
It gives them a strong female in a lead.
Yeah.
In a
And
male
security. Yeah.
in a male industry. You know what I mean? So
and she's a person of color and all that shit.
Yep,
So it's
that as
inclusive.
well.
It's all good. I look
kind of ticks all of Microsoft's boxes.
It's gonna be sad though, man, when Phil leaves and like
it will.
It just shows. It just shows we're getting older, right? We're getting older, man. Like shit's changing, you know. But like one thing that I will give Xbox is they always had Major Nelson to fall back on in terms of shit going bad. You know, he would go and talk PR.
I remember when he went to Boogie's house.
Sony never had
Xbox
that.
One. Yeah,
Sony never had that, and that's kind of one thing that I always felt about Xbox. That's why the Xbox fan base is so loyal to Xbox. Like even myself, you know, I talk shit about Xbox,
community.
But like in reality,
it's community.
In reality, my best gaming moments have always been with Xbox people, with Xbox players, Xbox community. It's always been with them, right? Like that's honest the truth. The community is there. They built it. They know how to do it, and they've done it. And he was a big part of it. And it's going to be different moving forward without him. If they don't replace him exclusively, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be weird, I think, because you got these influencers trying to build a community, but they're not really communities, you know? Like, it's like you're the community of this influencer, but you're not really part of, like, the whole thing, you know? Like, it's kind of weird, you know?
I can see Paris taking his place.
I also could see him saying, I also could see him saying no.
Yeah, you think?
I think he might just be like, nah, I'd rather not put
He's
myself
with the kind of funny crew, right? I don't know, but I think he'd still do a pretty good job.
He's with the Gamer Tag Radio and Kind of Funny, and he does different podcasts. I've heard him on different ones.
I feel like with Paris, I don't listen to him all the time or every episode. I feel like that guy, like I've seen him like host from his house when he couldn't make it into the studio. I think that was even a little after kind of COVID was getting better. And I feel like, you know what? I said, I bet this guy has another full-time job that he works from home that he probably couldn't commit, you know? So that would be another reason why he wouldn't. But I think he would
be his full-time job if he got that.
He did the flight simulator stuff.
Yeah.
And then he hosted one of their showcases.
Yep.
So,
yeah, but he's not an employee of
No,
but he would make a good employee.
Microsoft. He was a guest from
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I could see them kind of maybe going in that direction.
I could see it. I mean, but we'll see what happens.
To say the news and like do this week on Xbox and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And that's one thing that like PlayStation or Nintendo or even like Steam or Epic, they don't have that. They don't have a face to the brand. They don't have a guy out there talking to people about.
Do you remember?
Shit, right?
Do you remember when Sony did the Crash Bandicoot commercials? Oh, are you guys too young?
I don't
Mayo,
remember.
You gotta remember this. You don't remember where he was like outside Nintendo with a megaphone screaming at
I remember him.
You remember that shit? Look it up, dude. It's funny as hell. Sony were being pricks, like they were just being like
assholes. Like bad motherfuckers. Like, hey, we're the bad motherfuckers.
Shows up at the Nintendo or Sega headquarters, and he's like, "Hey, where's your little blue creature?"
But yeah, shout out to Larry Herb, Major Nelson.
Throwing out. Well, he's not dead, but
he's rolling out though. Speaking of things changing at Microsoft, another huge change coming this fall, Gunny. Okay. Today, we're continuing our commitment to give players more choices and value by introducing Xbox Game Pass Core. Launching on September 14th, Mayo, Game Pass Core is the evolution of Xbox Live Gold. Game Pass Core will give players access to our advanced multiplayer network, a select collection of over 25 games to play with friends around the world, and exclusive member deals, all for $9.99 US cents.
Okay, so that's going to be the cheap console version.
Per month, or $59.99 US dollars per year. For over 20 years, Xbox players have been connecting via Xbox Live to compete, cooperate, and experience the world's biggest online multiplayer games. In 2017, we introduced Game Pass, which provided a curated library of games. Game Pass Core brings online gameplay together with Game Pass and a new offering for gamers around the world. With this evolution, we're saying farewell to games with gold. We wanted to use this opportunity to reimagine how to include content with the subscription. We found that the answer to the most compelling catalog was to leverage select titles from our Xbox Game Pass catalog. Our launch collection will include 25 titles from Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and our content partners will offer something for everyone to play on the Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One consoles. Today, we're confirming the following titles for launch, with more to be announced in advance of September 14th. New titles will be added 2 to 3 times a year. So among these titles, we got State of Decay 2, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Inside, Halo 5 Guardians, Gears 5, Forza Horizon 4, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, The Elder Scrolls Online, Hellblade, Dishonored 2, Among Us, Fable Anniversary, Grounded, a few other ones, Human Fall Flat, and a few other ones.
Those are all good games.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good for someone picking up a console that doesn't have any games.
Yeah,
getting that,
your racers,
being able
your
to play a bunch of different games, that's awesome. That's
RPGs.
a really good.
This is for Xbox Live Core members. So, Gunny, the core price is $9.99 a month. You will get access to the online console multiplayer, a catalog of over 25 high-quality games on the console, and member deals and discount. For console, that's for the core.
That's
Game
Xbox.
Pass.
That's basically Xbox Live Gold with a
catalog,
a narrowed down Game Pass instead of games for gold.
So, console Game Pass will now be $10.99 a month. You get hundreds of high-quality games on console, new games on day one, and member deals and discount. The PC will stay at $9.99 a month, Mayo, for you PC gamers. Hundreds of high-quality games on the PC, new games on day one, member deals and discounts, and an EA Play membership. And the Ultimate will, of course, include hundreds of high-quality games on both the console, PC, and the cloud. Okay? And the cloud. It's included with Ultimate. You get new games on day one, member deals and discounts and perks, online console multiplayer access, and EA Play membership with that. That one's going to be $16.99 a month. PC is $9.99. Console Game Pass is $10.99. And the core membership is $9.99 a month. Games with Gold will come to Games with Gold will come to an end on September 1st. Players can continue to access any Xbox One games they've previously redeemed through Games with Gold if they remain a Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. Regardless of your subscription status, any Xbox 360 titles redeemed via Games with Gold in the past will be kept in your library. That's regardless if you don't sign up for this or you do, Mayo.
Which is nice.
They always said that. They always said the Xbox 360 games that you purchased are yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I got to eat a little crow here, guys. Because remember, we used to complain about Sony. There's too many tiers in their service. But now I'm like, wait, how many tiers do we have in the Xbox? You go, now we got 3 or 4 of them.
You really have 3 for the console.
Yeah.
You have the core, the console, and the ultimate. And then for the PC, you have the PC one and the ultimate one, I guess.
Or ultimate, yeah.
I think it's a good offering.
Get rid of gold. Gold was in such a weird spot already.
It was.
Yeah, they needed to go. You knew it was going. It's been like the games with gold have been garbage for years because why put anything in games with gold when you could put it in Game Pass?
Right.
We've talked about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll be right back. You can talk.
Do you have more Microsoft news?
There was a lot of it. What else was there that I added in there? Oh, I did. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait. No, that's the Sony 10-year deal. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Here's a good one from Sony, guys. Sony plans to boost the game R&D spending this year as competition ramps up. I assume research and development? It's reportedly focusing research on live service, Fortnite-style games, and mixed reality.
Yeah, well, we've been hearing they've been wanting to push
my God.
games, like a live service games, like wanting to go that route somewhat, but that's just,
how many live service games have failed?
Yeah.
Right?
How many?
It's funny because
I guess look at the ones that are really big.
That one. They're hoping for that.
They're hoping for that big. Look at Fortnite.
Yeah.
You can consider Fortnite a live service game, and look how big Fortnite is.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
I have some thoughts on
look
this.
Look at Warzone. Warzone is one really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a game that's always updating and it's always there. And
yeah, I got some thoughts on this. I'll just read through this and I'll tell you what I think of that. What's going on here? Where it talks about plans to boost it, gaming and focus the extra money on Fortnite-style live service games, mixed reality. It will invest $2.13 billion for the segment of 2023, accounting for about 40% of research and development, spending company-wide, over double what it spent in 2020. The aim is to better compete in cloud gaming VR, particularly if Microsoft's acquisition goes through, which it did. Sony has traditionally relied on story-led blockbuster titles like God of War, Horizon, but live service games use a different model. Instead of developing one game and moving on to the next, I mean, we all know what happens from there, right? Overwatch, League of Legends, just a few examples. It says here the company lags behind rivals in that area and has had just one live service game in 2021, but plans to have 12 in its portfolio by 2026.
And this is part of the reason why I think Sony was pushing so hard to delay this for as long as they possibly could, was because they're trying to get their shit going. And the longer they can delay this, the longer they have to get their shit going before they can fight back, right?
Yeah. And there was an executive at Sony. Again, I'm going off of just, podcasts and research and articles that I've read within the last year and a half, where I know that, and I can't think of his name, but he was talking about I'm so sorry. We're trying to focus on these, like he was trying to be apologetic. And I thought it was kind of weird, right? Where it's I'm sorry, Sony fans, and we don't mean to try and throw all these at you, and we get it, we understand. But I thought, no, I know what's going on here, and I get it, right? Because you want to spend a couple $2 billion on these games because, man, when one of them sticks to the wall, right, it's there. I mean, they're the ones that make all the money of these live service games. Like Fortnite, right? Not everything is, but there are some things that other games out there.
Well, they see what they can make with Fortnite because they know what Epic makes. You know what I mean? But the chances of you hitting a Fortnite, especially if you're not cross-platform, that's very slim. And Sony doesn't want to go cross-platform. They want to keep it all to themselves.
100%
Whereas Microsoft is like, I don't give a fuck where you play it. Just play it.
Yeah.
Just fucking play that shit.
I
You can
wonder,
play that
like,
shit on your fucking toaster. I don't give a fuck.
what would be a good
Play it.
example from Microsoft side? Would it be the Elder Scrolls Online? Does that make a lot of money? I have no idea. But
Well,
obviously fans wanted it back in the day.
The thing is people
I don't know
tend to
if
forget that things like the Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 and games like Grounded and well, Grounded doesn't make a whole lot of money, I don't think, because they don't sell anything. They just keep updating it, keep
Yeah.
playing it. No but,
expansion.
The Elder Scrolls, Minecraft, things like that. That's what funds this company. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's where all the fucking money comes from. If you think about it, these big single player things that come out every once in a while, they make a little fucking blip, but they don't keep things coming, right? Game Pass keeps that fucking. They always know they're making that money. They're making that money. They're making that money, right?
Yes.
Constant. It's not just they made a bunch of money and now they got to do something to make a bunch more money. You know what I mean? Like, and they have enough stuff. And you think about things like, okay, Fortnite and games like Roblox.
There's a good
Roblox is
example.
only on Xbox. It's not on PlayStation. I think it might be coming to. No, that's right. It's not on PlayStation. That makes a lot of money.
Yeah, Roblox.
All these games bring in, they pull a 30% from that, every time, just like PlayStation does with Fortnite and
so
whatever
I
third
say
party games they're doing.
I say keep going for it, right? Put your 2 billion out there. Yeah, I say keep doing it and don't apologize, Sony, please. Whoever that guy was, I'm like, oh, come on, really? I didn't believe him when he first even started talking about it. But again, not in this article. This is something previous, but you got to spend money to make money, right? So, yeah, just throw the shit out there and, hopefully you make something that's, the magic is there, like that secret sauce.
What else
So.
we got in the news there?
We've got here one from remember those hackers from, was it the new Grand Theft Auto 6?
Oh, yeah.
So so it says here, this is a teenager who hacked Uber, Revolut, and GTA. This is from a London court hearing. So looking here, I guess the name's not going to be there because he's a teenager.
No, it is. It's called. His name is Arian Kurtaj.
What? Arian? Like his first name is Arian? Are you serious?
Arion. It's
Arion. Okay, there he is.
Arion.
Oh, he's 18.
years
He's
old.
an adult.
He's said to have targeted Revolut and Uber in September 2022, accessing around 5,000 Revolut customers' information and causing nearly $3 million in damages to Uber. Prosecution also alleges he hacked Rockstar Games days later and threatened to release the planned GTA sequel's source code in a Slack message sent to all of Rockstar's staff. He's also accused, alongside a 17-year-old who cannot be named, of blackmailing Britain's biggest broadband provider, BT Group, and mobile operator EE between July and November of 2021, demanding a $4 million ransom. The pair, who prosecutors say were key players in lapsus, I don't know what the fuck that means, are alleged to have hacked chipmaker Nvidia Corporation in February of 2022 and demanded a payment from Nvidia to not publish their data. Says here prosecutor Kevin Berry told jurors at London Southwark Crown that the 17-year-old hacked City of London police cloud storage week after the force arrested him in connection with the attack on BT and EE. And Cortage later embarked on a solo cybercrime spree, Berry said, first targeting Revolut and then Uber in 2 days before hacking Rockstar.
Guy just went on a tear.
Says here, these guys have not been assessed by psychiatrists as not fit to stand trial, so the jury will determine whether he committed the acts alleged rather than deliver a guilty or not guilty verdict. So They have been charged with 12 offenses, including 3 counts of blackmail, 2 counts of fraud, and 6 charges of under the Computer Misuse Act. The 17-year-old is standing trial on 2 counts of blackmail, 2 counts of fraud, and 3 charges under the Computer Misuse Act relating to the hacking of BT and NVIDIA, which he denies. The 17-year-old has previously pleaded guilty to 2 offenses under the Computer Misuse Act and 1 count of fraud. So these kids are just fucking hacking the shit out of companies, probably making a lot of money off of it. And they got caught. Well, don't get caught next time, I guess. It's the rule here. The rule.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the rule.
This Murtaj
don't
guy,
get caught.
This Murtaj guy with the whole insane plea or whatever. I guess he hasn't even pleaded insane. Damn, he's a smart guy, right? Like, you know what? I am in a world of shit. I am insane in the fucking membrane here. I can't stand trial for all these fucking charges.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah.
In other news, Bungie's studio, which is making Marathon, the new game that they're rebooting, announced on Twitter that Andrew Witz has now joined the Marathon team as gameplay design director. Witz has an impressive background in modern multiplayer design, spending a year working on Fortnite and another 2 on Rainbow Six Siege. And then most recently, he worked on 343 Industries as multiplayer lead modes and system designer for Halo Infinite. So he knows what these guys do. So there's that. It's going to be a sci-fi PvP extraction shooter, Gunny. All right.
Is it going to be on Game Pass? No, probably not, because now Sony owns it. It'll be on.
Sony owns it. Yeah, you're right.
Right. Oh, darn.
No, it is coming to Xbox, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see here more piece of news. Baldur's Gate 3, Gunny and Mayo. Okay, it's coming. It is one of the most highly anticipated RPGs this year and serves as another step in transitioning players away from the previous console generation. On top of launching on the PC, Gunny and Mayo, Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to the PS5 as a console exclusive, sort of, because eventually it'll come to Xbox, but no one knows really when.
Yeah, they can't get it running on a Series S. It will not run split screen.
One of the notable differences between both versions of Baldur's Gate 3 on the PS5 and on the PC is that the PS5 version appears to be graphically dated based on the trailers shown by Sony. While this now might reflect the final game due to being in early access for several years, people saying that they might be disappointed. You know, people are expecting the game to look like the PC launch, and then it launches on the PS5 and it doesn't look as good as the PC, which, let's be honest, is probably going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. It is unknown at what resolution the game will run on the PS5, but Sony mentioned that Baldur's Gate 3 is targeting 60 FPS on the PS5. Whether or not the game will always run on 60 FPS is not known. But since the game was built with the keyboard and mouse in mind, practically all functions need to be adapted for ease of use on the controller. And previews for Baldur's Gate 3 have noted that the command wheel used to replace the hotkeys can feel a little clunky, since to mash all the functions together, it feels more like there are 3 command wheels to sort through. So this is definitely the most substantial difference between the 2 versions. But there are a number of smaller changes that subtly change the experience. On PC, says here, moving the player around is done traditionally by point and click. And on the console, you use an analog stick. It's sort of like Diablo, right? Use the controller, you move the stick.
I see. Is this like Diablo, like isometric?
Yeah, kind of.
I think it's like it's top down. Because I've been watching it for a couple of years. When you guys were talking about it last week, I was like, "Fuck, is this the same game I've been seeing on Twitch for the last couple of years?" But it's been in early access.
What the fuck is a CRPG? That's what they call this. What the fuck does that mean, man?
But it really died off. I haven't seen it on anybody really playing it on Twitch that much.
I guess it just stands for computer role-playing game. I guess that's what the C stands for, computer? I
wonder if it's a small team, because it just seems like, I don't know, like you we just see other games where
whatever options, Gunny. Okay, let me tell you a little something more about Baldur's Gate 3, Gunny. Okay, I know you're gonna buy this on the PC.
only if I
Baldur's
could have
Gate
sex with a bear.
3. Okay, you will definitely have sex with all the bears you want to have sex with.
Hell yeah!
They've revealed that the game will have 174 hours of cinematics.
Damn.
100. You thought 50 hours of Death Stranding 2 was a lot, Mayo?
Right.
Okay, this game has 174 hours
You,
of that shit.
you get a 20-hour cinematic at the end of the game.
You have to sit there and watch it for 20 hours.
Yeah, you can't skip it.
You can't skip it. You move around on the beach, you take 5 steps and it starts again.
No, that's starting to sound like
man.
Final Fantasy. That's what booked me up Final Fantasy. Like, it does that every once in a while. You get a cinematic, then you walk across the hallway, then you get another cinematic. I'm like, did you really have to make me? You just want to check to make sure I'm still here, kind of thing. Like.
So yeah, there's that's coming, Gunny, and now.
How many hours was it for cinematics?
170.
174.
Yeah,
174. 174, Gunny. Okay? Because they say they account for everything you ever say or do in the game. They say every choice matters, Gunny. All your choices matter, okay?
Damn.
Okay?
Baldur's Gate. Yeah, how much is
Listen,
it?
Gunny, to see all the cutscenes, all 174 cutscenes, how many playthroughs do you think you have to do on this game to see all 174 hours worth of cutscenes, Gunny?
Well, it'd have to be a lot considering it's all figured in, right?
It's all choice driven and shit.
It'll be on YouTube in 2 days. Well, I don't know if anybody does that anymore, but somebody will.
Okay,
Somebody
listen,
will put it up
how
there.
many playthroughs do you think it's going to take, Gunny, to do this? Mayo
5.
And
5 playthroughs.
That's a low number, Gunny. How about you, Mayo?
Oh, it's got to be at least 20 at least.
You're pretty close, Mayo. It's 18 playthroughs of this game. They say it will require 18 playthroughs with a single character to see all the game has to offer. 18 playthroughs. That's a
somebody posted on here on Steam because this game's in early access, right? Where it's like 5 hours in, I just completed choosing my race. We'll update you in a few days once my character's complete.
They say this game would take 1,800 hours to look at all the cutscenes and everything and like see all the things. 18 playthroughs would take about 1,800 hours.
Wait, I missed this. What are we talking about?
And the game will take about
3.
And they say the game, Mayo, how long do you think this game is going to take to beat?
Well, it has 174 hours of cinematics.
But you don't get to see all of them. They're based on your choices.
Yeah. You're going to even 100 hours.
That's a good guess. It will take 100 hours to beat this game. This game says players that are rushing through the main story campaign will take about 75 hours to complete it. Players that decide to do side quests and content will take about 100 hours to complete the game. So you better be ready for a long play session, Gunny.
Yeah.
75 to 100 hours to complete Baldur's Gate 3.
It's almost MMO-like, right? Like, it has like an MMO feel because you have like all these little, like, if you look at the Steam stuff on it, like you have this skill tree on the bottom. You have lots of skills.
There's 12 skill trees or like 12 skill sets, but then they have like subsets to those subsets. So there's like so many subsets to those 12 subsets, and then there's subsets to those.
Yeah.
So there's like subsets on subsets on subsets.
And if you look at it too, like there's this one scene in the like on the Steam page, it shows like in the top right corner, it kind of shows like maybe like the people are like on the environment.
Yeah.
There's 12 pictures in the top right corner of people's faces. They seem like they're like in that. It's like a room they're in, like a dungeon maybe.
Yeah.
And it shows 12 different faces up there, and it shows like 19 of 20, 24 of 24. I'm not sure what that's showing. But then the bottom right corner or the bottom left corner, it shows 4 more, and I'm assuming that's your group or your party that you're in. So
Yeah, up to 4 players. 12 classes, 11 races. Yeah, team up with total of 4 players, I believe it is. So, and I think the game looks, like looking at the pictures, like so far prior to this update, they were looking pretty damn good.
yeah, on
According
Steam,
to
people that want to look
according
at it on Steam, it's like picture 17 of 22.
according
This
to other
screenshot.
developers, Mayo and Gunny, some developers are coming out and saying that, hey, looking at says here, this guy said, like a lot of people, I'm deeply excited about what lovely folks at Larian accomplished with Baldur's Gate 3. But I want to gently and preemptively push back against players taking that excitement and using it to apply criticism or raise standard to RPGs going forward. And he said, you got to think of it this way. They're like, this is not a standard for RPG games. Like, do not expect Starfield to have 174 hours of cutscenes. They're saying that this game has had a long development cycle. It started back in 2017. They've had 2 previous games for it, Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2. And they had a worth of tech and institutional knowledge to draw from. They had a very successful early access period, which lasted 3 years, Gunny. And this provided Larian with community feedback, bug hunting, and cash to update and keep making the game. They have a team of over 400 developers across 7 offices in the world making the game. And they've licensed for one of the largest entertainment IPs in the world, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So they're saying, like, don't expect this game to be like the new standard for RPGs. They're saying, no, this game is its own game. Like, this is probably going to be a huge game, an amazing game. It's big, it's amazing, it has a lot of things going for it. But don't expect other RPGs to follow this game's design because this game just has had time to be made, right? It's been what 6 years in the making.
And I haven't watched I probably haven't watched the any Twitch streams in about 6 months on it.
6 years in the making, and like it's gonna be crazy. Like fuck, man. I'm
Fall
excited.
development.
I'm hyped, Mayo. You hyped, Mayo?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of.
This is going to be. I mean, I think this will be game of the year if I can dip my wick in a dragon. This is fucking GOT, bro.
What is
GOT?
the fuck
Wow!
you just said?
Yeah.
You dip your dick in a dragon? The hell did you
Sure.
say?
Fuck yeah, dude. DLC. if I'm fucking shagging a fucking bear, why can't I fucking
Oh yeah, bro.
romp on a dragon, baby?
Listen, man. I'm out here fucking all the bears in the woods, and I'm doing all that crazy shit in this game. All right, Mayo and Gunny. I'm doing that shit. Mayo, don't act like you ain't doing it. I know your girlfriend is there. That's probably why you don't want to say it.
he's like
I know you're doing it, Mayo. I know you're doing it, Mayo.
Say it loud, Mayo, right now.
That's what you talk about with your video.
I'm just starting to question what kind of people I hang out with and their weird fantasies over here.
Yeah, me too.
Hey,
listen,
don't knock
man,
it till you tried it, buddy.
We're fucking all the bears. Okay, we're making all the races. Gunny,
you keep your furry stuff over there on the West Coast.
Gunny,
I know. I just revealed my secret.
You and Gunny keep that over there.
My Dragon Age playthrough. Yeah, I'm not going to say what happened, but keeping that in the closet.
Yeah, that's about it. That's all we have for news. Other than that, it's just been the Xbox news, the PlayStation news that we've known.
The back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
It went through. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. No, it didn't.
Also, Phil Spencer is playing Starfield already, if you guys didn't know.
A lot of people are.
He's playing Starfield.
Probably. Who's the other guy at Microsoft?
Colt Eastwood is playing it right now. I know that.
I know. Yeah.
I think Jez might be playing it.
I would, probably a preview or review.
No, it's a preview, right? An early copy.
Yeah, it would be a preview. Sorry.
No, it's not a preview. It's they got copies of the game.
Yeah.
You're right, but in
They're,
order to do a
they're
preview,
playing the game, but they can't talk
I
about it.
get
There's
it.
probably-
Yeah, but
There's
you can
probably
still
the
do a
people out there
preview
in the
if they allow it.
Jesus remembers the whole Darknet Diaries podcast where the people that hacked in the Xbox. You know, there's probably people out there that are probably playing it right now and people just don't know. You know, they're probably like,
yeah, man. Exciting times
infiltrated
coming
Xbox.
up. Big games coming this fall.
Next
Starfield.
year, man. Next year is gonna fucking be crazy.
I think Baldur's Gate's
Hopefully.
gonna hold me over till.
We needed a good year. I feel like this year's been
hold me
okay,
over.
but then there's times I'm like, maybe not. You know,
But
like sometimes
like I
Hogwarts
was saying,
good.
like I was trying to say earlier, I think Xbox is going to be full throttle in 2024. And I think Sony is going to have start to flow into what Microsoft just came out of. Because the way their timeline was set up, they were set up to be able to get through the whole COVID thing better. But at the end of it, it all catches up, and now their development cycle's kind of fucked, and they don't have a lot of games coming out. So they're going to go through the Sony's got no games period real soon.
I don't know, man.
Well, you tell me what they got, because looking at what's out there, you got Spider-Man 2. That's all you got. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Spider-Man. Oh, and they got Spider-Man.
That's all
they might
need,
they might remaster The Last of Us 2.
Again, that'd be nice.
No, the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they'll probably do Horizon Zero Dawn remastered again. Because why not?
I don't know. We'll see.
Guys,
We'll see what they come out
And
with.
they'll have some failing VR games that'll come out.
Are you guys excited
Assassin's Creed news, guys.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed Red is reportedly the final RPG game from the series. That's right.
Wasn't that leaked or something? I haven't seen anything on it other than
So
it's just got leaked.
Assassin's Creed Origins took the franchise in a new direction in 2017. The game came with a massive open world, an overhauled combat system, and various RPG mechanics. Assassin's Creed Red will continue this legacy in the coming years. However, the franchise is taking a break from this approach, returning to the classic formula with the Assassin's Creed Mirage. So, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of overdue because like the last couple of Assassin's Creeds to me have kind of felt the same. They're different. The environment's different, but it's the same concept. You know, you go in a big
Isn't the
open
one
world.
coming out this year the one that's like old school Assassin's Creed, the Mirage one, right?
yeah.
It's like it looks like the old school ones. Yeah, man, I'm down to play it. I actually probably will play it because I kind of miss those old games.
All right, Jesus, are you ready for Assassin's Creed Mirage? Are you ready for it?
Why?
Well,
Yes,
because now there's an official gaming suit that lets you feel the parkour and the punches.
What?
Yes.
What?
So click on that link. It says they partner with
Jesus.
OWO to create a haptic feedback vest that will allow wearers to physically feel the reactions of the protagonist Basim as he parkours and fights his way through Baghdad. By leveraging OWO's groundbreaking technology and expertise, they were able to immerse the players in the world, sound, and sensation of Assassin's Creed Mirage in an innovative and enhanced way.
I'm
You
on
can
the
actually
website
feel
now.
like you're in the Animus.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm looking at the vest now. It looks like a shirt. Why does this look like a shirt?
It does
Are
like a
these ever gonna like gain
shirt
traction?
sweater.
We've heard about these things for so long.
Look, okay, Mayo, I'm gonna send
wetsuit.
you a link right now in the chat. Look, dude, this looks like a t-shirt. Okay, I'm gonna order one right now. See how much
You
it costs.
How
order
much
one
is
right
it?
now, Jesus, and we'll see how long it lasts.
It's an ooh-woo.
Whoa, yeah.
Oh, whoa. An
Oh,
oh,
whoa.
whoa. Oh,
It's cool.
OWO.
It's got the logos on it.
What the hell is
It's currently on sale for 499 euros on the website.
That means it's $562 American.
And you can get an Assassin's Creed version.
I want the Founders Edition. Listen, the compatible games: Mayo, Super Hot, Apex Legends, Halo Infinite, Half-Life Alyx, Among Us, Beat Saber.
$500.
League of Legends, Valorant, Rocket League, CSGO, World of Tanks, World of Ships.
I mean, it's cool that it's a shirt. It would be simple, but
it is a shirt, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's cool that it's a shirt and it's simple.
Do you charge it, or what the fuck? Do you?
Yeah, because it says long-lasting battery.
Yeah.
You like stick stuff in there, or what the fuck?
Probably
no, you probably just plug it in.
Got little sensors or what?
How do you wash it though?
Like, that's what I was going to say. Like a true gamer, you can't wash it. You're just going to smell like gamer.
Yeah.
It would never get washed.
Dry cleaned, maybe? I don't know.
Well, there you go, Jesus.
I'm looking at it, bro. Okay, so you get the OVO skin, the device, and the storage pouch. A USB charging cable. Oh, and you also get the game with the shirt. You get the Assassin's Creed game.
I would think.
But do you have to buy the Assassin's Creed one?
Yeah, to get the game one, yeah. I'm in it, Gunny. I want this. Let's do it.
I want to see you in a month from now,
see
Jesus.
This too.
I want to see you wearing it live during the show.
Yeah, this has to be streamed. I'll set it up when you're gonna do it. You got to let me know. I'll come on. I'll set it up. We'll stream it to Facebook.
I'm looking at order now. See how much this one is. No, the only one you can order is the Founders Edition. You can't order the Mirage one.
Yeah, it just says discover more.
It lets you sign up for like an email when it's gonna be.
Sound like you're backing out already, Ryan.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I only want the Mirage one.
And the other one, when you go
Would
to
it be
order
funny
the
if
other
it
one,
didn't even work with the Assassin's Creed game?
It doesn't even work good. The other one, when you order it, it says estimated wait time 3 months. That's crazy.
The Founders Edition one, they're limited, Jesus, to only 2,000. They're only making 2,000 of them. And you also realize it says special promotion for 499 euros.
Oh shit! This is probably even more money.
So it's probably more expensive. Get one before they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a pack that you put in the shirt.
Yeah.
So you can take the pack out maybe and wash it maybe?
Yeah. Huh. Gel pads.
So would it have to be like a pretty tight shirt then?
Can I just get some haptic underwear?
I would assume
or something?
so.
If you have like a baggy shirt, you wouldn't notice it so much, you know?
No. It's a tight shirt.
Did you see undergarment?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. In general though, like it.
Because there is.
When you scroll down,
where does this pack go?
It looks like it zips up, right?
Yeah, I don't know about this.
I don't know. Haptic ball sack would work, but about a shirt.
Haptic ball sack? Where?
I don't know unless it's on the nipples, man. What's going on?
Gunny wants the nipple
Gunny wants the haptic boxers over here.
Compatible with VR, console, PC, mobile, and tablet.
Yeah, man. Make this shit.
I'll go with a haptic chair.
Isn't there like another vest that does this?
Yeah, there was one. Or maybe this was it, and they just changed the name of it or something.
No, there's another one. I'm looking at it right now. It's called the Core FX.
Oh, I've seen that on. Yeah, I saw that being advertised on.
$100.
You buy it at GameStop.
You probably could.
Best Buy, yeah.
It's $100, Gunny. I don't know.
Yeah, Walmart probably sells it.
These are a thing, huh? I didn't know.
Oh shit!
That's all I have for news.
All right, guys. Oh, we get to do a console corner, which is almost ending for oh man, I didn't get the PlayStation stuff.
No more console corner for Gunny.
It's gone.
No.
Give up the console corner.
So your Games for Gold, which is ending soon. When the Past was around, that's the name of the game. When the Past was around, go claim it. Don't play it. You can still get on here a game called Darkwood. Not Whitewood. It's called Darkwood. Go get that one. I played that on PC early on when we were doing the podcast. I do recommend
these
that.
titles, bro? Who makes these?
This is an old fucking Steam titles. What this is, Darkwood. And it looks dark too.
Who makes this shit?
Epic. I forgot my free Epic games, guys. Shit. Game Pass, Exoprimal, it's on there. Anything else on Game Pass, Ryan, you recommend you played recently?
Arcade Paradise. That was pretty fun.
Okay, I didn't get that. I didn't claim it. So I mean I didn't download it. So
basically a laundry simulator where you basically end up buying arcade games and putting them in the back and making more money off arcade games than you do the laundromat, so it becomes an arcade, and yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
and you can actually play the games.
On our Discord free game thing, there's a game called Train Valley 2 on Epic Games right now for free till the 20th.
Okay, I just fired
Dude, Epic Games has been doing free games since 2019.
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm looking at the list of all the games they've ever gave out.
Dude, I stopped, but for the longest time, I remember they collecting them every month, and I have this massive Epic Games fucking library now.
There's like a massive list of games. Like they have the list of every game they've ever given out, and there's so fucking many, dude. Holy fuck!
I think I bought 3 games on Epic Games Store altogether.
Me too.
That's about what I have as well.
I have a library of like over 150, maybe 180 games. It's insane.
The one that's out right now, Gunny, is like Mayo said, Train Valley 2.
Yeah.
Looks cool. It's a train game. I'm gonna get it.
All right. Over on Game Pass, guys, I think it's coming to console, but I think it might still be in early access, but it's called Everspace. Did you have that first one, Mayo? The first one on PC?
I own both of them on PC, yeah.
Own both, yeah. So it looks like, I know when that Everspace 2 came out, I don't know if it was an early access thing, but it didn't grab me. But
yeah, I didn't like they're doing mess with the second one much either. I really like the first one.
Yeah, they're doing more updates to it on the second one. It's a little different, right?
I should revisit it.
Yeah, they just added a few more things to it. It's still not like super somatic or you're still doing the same thing. So hard to describe, but I don't know. You're just in a ship, just going around blowing shit up, collecting things. Is really what it is. And then I think you're upgrading your ship as well. So, yeah, that's right, Mayo. When I first played that, it was like the watercolored still images.
Yeah,
like there was no cinematics. It was like, okay, really?
Yeah, when I played it, well, when I played the first one, it was there wasn't any real story there. Like it was kind of it was early access.
Everspace.
Everspace. Yeah. The first one was beautiful looking too. It looked great. It had the great sense of space and everything. And you could have been played in VR. Like I hooked up my VR to it one time and tried it, and it was really hard to play in VR. But it even had VR access. But it's a very chill. It's a roguelike. When I played the first one, it didn't really have much of a story. You were just in this ship, and then you basically think of like a FTL, but live action. Like you go from sector to sector, and then you can fly around, and you'll find resources. You need to find
third person,
and then you kind of craft, and then you build on your ship, and you make your ship better. But when you die, you lose the stuff you have, and you kind of reset, just like FTL. And you would just try to see how far you could get and how powerful you could get. But then they ended up having like a story, and it was like kind of when I had the first one, it was kind of like they were adding it as the game was going. And then I think they came out like a more of a full-fledged story. And then they shortly after that they made the second game. And I said I tried the second game, I bought it right away because I liked the first one so well. But then I just didn't really care for it, like the little bit that I played. But then they kept working on it too because again it was early access. So I would kind of like to dive back into it. It's a really pretty game.
Is it out? It's out on full release now, April 6th.
Yeah. I think you would like the first one, Jesus. Try the first one. I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass.
There's a demo for the second one on Steam.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
guys.
own both.
I gotta go.
All right.
Okay,
All
Canadian.
All right, have a good one, Ryan.
Later.
Nice getting on with you guys again.
Yep.
Have a
Nice
good one.
having you.
Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Got rid of the Xbot finally.
You got one Xbot left. Oh, if you guys are interested at all in Remnant 2 at all?
No, I didn't even know they were making a new one. I seen that today on Steam, and I'm like, never played the last one.
I never played I tried the first one. It didn't grab me at all. It's like, this game looks dumb. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. Everybody's like, oh, you're not playing the game right. You got to jump in with 3 other people and kind of just shoot shit, right? And I was like, okay. But it seemed too linear for some reason. So, and I don't know, enemies were hard to kill.
Yeah, Jesus, I want you to give Everspace a shot. You got Game Pass, right? Or no?
I don't have Game Pass.
No. So, I don't know how much it is on Steam right now. I think it's a Jesus game, honestly. If you like Bomber Crew, I think you might like this.
Yeah, let's see. Everspace.
Is Everspace 2 the same style?
It is.
It's $20 and then $50 for Everspace 2. I would just say wait until you get Game Pass. Oh, wait a minute, Jesus. Everspace 2, there's a demo on Steam.
That's what I saw, yeah.
Yeah.
You might be able to get a demo for the first one as well.
Yeah, I might get the demo on. I'll start the demo for sure.
Like I said, I can't tell you much about the second one, but I think you would like the first one. It's
a
little bit.
A lot of collecting resources. And,
and it's like enhancing your ship and adding upgrades. And the ship's unlocked, kind of like FTL, but it's a more of a shooter, like an action game. Like when you're flying around, there's enemies that are like flying out there and about.
Yeah.
And you jump from sector to sector. So you go into a sector, and there'll be some enemies out there, and they could be far away. You got to fly out there. They'll kind of show up on your HUD, and you can attack them and stuff. And then there's like random asteroids and stuff, and you can they'll have like caves in the asteroid, like a hole going through the asteroid, and you can fly through there, and there'll be like materials you can mine. Or you'll come to a space station, and then you can find stuff on the space station. You'll find a random store. It's like a big ship, and you'll dock to it, and then you can buy like enhancements for your ship and stuff. And you just kind of keep progressing. They give you a little bit of a story, but it's mainly just kind of like that roguelike. But a very pretty game. Very has a really good atmosphere to it. Like it really makes you feel like you're in space. Like it's kind of quiet.
Very
But like
colorful.
the backgrounds are very pretty and colorful, like Gunny was saying, and it's just a neat looking game. And like I said, I know there's different ships you can unlock. I think I only have one, or I think I have 2 unlocked. There is a first person view, so think of something like Star Wars Squadron or the Star Wars Squadrons. There's the in the ship view you can have, or there's a third person outside the ship view. And there's different things you'll fight. Like you can have like enemy, like there's like this Federation type thing, and you can attack one of like their oil rigs or something, and they become your enemy. So they will always try to fight you. But if they're your friends, like they'll fight with you. Sometimes if you come across one, he'll help you fight other enemies and stuff.
It's just single player, right? I think.
Yeah, it is. And you can put points in your shield. You can get better shields, better missiles, better lasers, and stuff like that. Your crafting materials make better stuff for your ship.
Bro, I'm trying to log into Amazon, and it's giving me like that bullshit where like it's telling you to like solve these things if you're not a bot. Like enter these characters, man, and I can't read the characters. I'm like, what the fuck? I could game it wrong because I can't read them. I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to say? It's like super fucked up. I'm like, what the fuck?
A 6 or a B? Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah, is that an F or an H? What the fuck?
Jesus, if you want, CD Keys has the first one on Steam for $8.99 for the Ultimate Edition.
I might check it out. I'm on Amazon right now. I'm looking at deals, Mayo. Is the show over? Are we done? What are we doing now?
Yeah, I think we're finishing up.
All right, where can we find you, Gunny?
Yes, good. He just walks off.
All right. Well, where can we find you, Mayo?
You gotta find me on Steam, Discord, Xbox. As the Mayo or the Mayo one, but pretty much just the Mayo everywhere now. But mainly Discord's the easiest place to find me.
Find me on everything as She Walks a Lot, and find Gunny. So it's funny to me that Amazon has this Luna gaming shit on here. It's so fucking weird that it still exists. That this exists. It's here, man.
It's still there, huh?
Gaming Luna. It's so odd. Yeah, I don't know.
I think Gunny's out looking for dragons. What do you think?
Maybe. Find Gunny on everything as Gunny Chief. Find him on Xbox, add him. And that'll be all for us. We're out of here. Bye, everyone. Bye.
See ya.